887.
Michael Brown, former Undersecretary of Homeland Security and Director of FEMA, is your new full-time host of The Weekend, which airs every Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN. Each week on the popular 3-hour program, Brown offers listeners a fresh take on the weekend talk with his provocative insights into current events, politics, and culture. So late in the day on Saturday, make it a point to catch The Weekend with Michael Brown right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. I was adjusting my light here for a bit and also the Out to Lunch show layout here. Actually, what it is now I have the Out to Lunch with Matt McNeil logo on here now, which I'm going to start using as the title. So I wanted to bring that up. I was like, oh, I haven't used it yet. We've had it prepared already, and I haven't used it yet. So I've got the picture now for the title screen for Out to Lunch with Matt McNeil, and I thought, okay, that's I needed to use that as the title screen. So I'm gonna try to remember to start using that more here for the breaks and for the titles. So that, of course, you can see that as well. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Oh, we've got a busy Wednesday today. I'm excited. I've got two different things going on here. I do have an interview at 11 o'clock via Zoom. We'll talk a little bit about that here in just a bit on potentially trying out something new here. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. So we're going to try something out a little bit new here with Out to Lunch with some interviews and getting quite the lineup here too. So stay tuned for that. I'll talk a little bit about that here. We're going to try it out, see how it works out. And then after that interview at 12:30, we're also going to be broadcasting the Cold Case Conference. So that'll be coming up there as well too. So we want to promote that, of course. I will go through all of this I will go through all of this in more detail here in just a bit. What we're going to do first, of course, is go through the temperatures. So let's take a look here at the weather and see what we've got right now. Currently 56 degrees. It is an overcast day outside today, but we do see a high of 61 degrees. So definitely more of a fall style of a day. It is saying predicted to be pretty much mostly sunny, but I'm not seeing it being mostly sunny right now. So yeah, it's pretty much mostly cloudy outside currently right now. Temperature-wise, is in the 60s as a high. So it's going to be a high of 61. We are seeing it currently right now about 56 degrees. So it's a little bit chillier out here. We're seeing a low of 34 degrees as we get into tonight. Again, it's Wednesday, it's hump day. We're in the middle of the week, so we're halfway through till we get to the weekend. We're going to be seeing here, it does say predicted to be sunny. I'm seeing it being mostly cloudy right now. There was a little bit of more sunshine earlier this morning, at least around 10 o'clock or so. Oh, wait a minute. It is around 10 o'clock. Darn it. I meant to say 9 o'clock. But we are going to be seeing here clear skies as we get into tonight. It's going to be dropping down to a low of 34 degrees. So it's going to be dropping down to the low of 34. We see for tomorrow on Thursday a high of 65 degrees. It is predicted to be a low of 48 degrees when we get into Thursday night. So Thursday night's going to be dropping down to a low of 48 with a high of 65. It's predicted to be mostly sunny, so we'll have to wait and see, but that's what we've got right now for Thursday. Friday rolls around here. We do see a high of 64 degrees. So again, definitely more of the fall temperatures arriving already here already and continuing on into the rest of this week. We're seeing here for Friday, partly cloudy with a high of 64 degrees, dropping down to a low of 38 degrees as we get into Friday night. Saturday rolls around for the weekend here. We are seeing a prediction of mostly sunny, predicted to be a high of 59 degrees, dropping down to a low of 35 degrees as we get into Saturday night. It is predicted to be partly cloudy for Saturday night. Sunday rolls around, we do see a high of 62 degrees. So again, staying within the 50s and the 60s throughout the days here approaching. We have mostly sunny on Sunday. We see a low of 43 degrees for Sunday night. So again, pretty much sunny and clear for Sunday. Next week on Monday, we do see the temperatures rise. So we're seeing it as a high of 70 degrees. It's going to be mostly cloudy outside. And we're going to be seeing it being pretty much cloudy just in general on Monday with a low of 62 degrees. That'll be for Monday night. Tuesday rolls around. We do see it bumping up to a high of 79, almost 80 degrees. Predicted to be kind of partly cloudy, mostly cloudy throughout the day, and even maybe a little bit of a chance of rain we could see, especially as we get into Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we're going to be seeing a chance of scattered showers, high of 72 with a low of 55. And again, the scattered showers are predicted to pretty much be in the afternoon time with higher wind speeds. Wind speeds as high as about 18, almost maybe even 20 miles per hour. So the winds and rain are going to be coming up here on Wednesday, prediction-wise as of right now. So that's what's going to be happening in the area, prediction-wise. Taking a look here, of course, I always like to bring up sunnyskies.com, fun and amazing stories, and a lot more fun things as well here too. And this is cute. You know what? This is a cute story. This was posted today on sunnyskies.com. And this is a really heartfelt story as well too. So this is titled, quote, "How This Guy Gets Seniors Moving with Simple Everyday Objects." John Kruselbrink has made it his mission to get elderly residents in senior care facilities moving again, and he's doing it in the most playful way. After observing many seniors spending their days sleeping away, Joel realized that something needed to change. He asked himself, quote, "How can I inspire these residents to start moving?" The answer came through his young child, who showed him the joy of playing with everyday materials. Joel began introducing simple, fun activities for seniors, transforming their routines in games, exercises, and getting them to move and also to engage as well too. I've actually seen this before. I've seen this before on, it might have been TikTok, I don't know, but I have seen this before. You might have seen it as well. Actually, I think maybe it was on YouTube or on Facebook. Honestly, I want to say I even saw it last year too. But this is actually a really great way to get seniors active, and it's just very simple. It's all simple things for them to do, fun games to do with everyday objects, or really just kind of playful objects here too that usually you'd see kids using, but they can use it as well, and it can definitely help to keep them going mentally and also physically as well too. So it's a very engaging activity for sure. I mean, you can see here on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sharing it through TikTok, what he posted on here through sunnyskies.com, that they just play some fun, simple games, try to, catch the ball, put it in, certain slots, things like that. And, he says here, quote, "Movement is life. Play is the key to getting activated." Through his videos on social media, you'll see Joel connecting with seniors in the most creative and fun ways. And I think that that's great. He believes that when movement is made fun, it no longer feels like exercise. He says here, quote, "Play is the key to getting activated." Joel's actions remind us that life never pauses, and it's worth living, it with more joy and positivity as well too. So, I mean, there are like some fun games that people play, that Joel plays with a lot of the senior residents as well. Some very fun games, catching the ball and, different techniques and just little fun stuff like that, which is great for seniors. playing, hitting the ball against the table, trying to get it into the bucket, just fun things like that too. It gets them active, it gets them excited. They're not just sitting around sleeping all day. They're actually being active, and not in a way that feels like it's a chore, in a way that makes it fun and easy enough where they can do it as well too. It gets them inspired as well too. There's a lot of loneliness in senior care facilities. Even though you're surrounded by people, there are a lot of people that suffer from loneliness and depression, and this is also a great way to exercise the mind and to get people smiling again too. So thank you so much to Joel Kruselbrink, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly there, for creating this fun activity and awesome atmosphere for these seniors. So that's a beautiful story that was posted on sunnyskies.com. This and more can be found, of course, on sunnyskies.com. The time is 10:16. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll try to look through some other news, and then I'll bring up some other things here too. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410.
For an absolutely amazing meal and attentive, smiling staff, try Red Ox Restaurant and Bar in Hampshire. They have a delicious Friday night fish fry. There's so many great dishes on the menu that'll keep you returning. Try their savory French onion soup. Then for your main course, choose from a wide variety of steaks and chops, fried chicken, shrimp, or juicy prime rib, done just the way you like it. Red Ox also has daily specials and a full bar for you and your friends. Visit redoxhampshire.com today.
Discover the authentic taste of Italy at Massiano's Pizza and Pastaria of Elgin. There is one inexhaustible aspect of everyday life that never dulls, namely the simple pleasure of eating and drinking. Massiano's wants to make sure that this is the best part of your day. Visit Massianos.com and sign up to view their special offers all year long. Delivery, carry out, or dine in, enjoy it anyway, because life is good at Massiano's.
Imagine planting, tending, and raising your crops all season long, only to discover a micronutrient deficiency is robbing your yield potential. Once you spot signs of nutrient deficiencies, it can be difficult to bounce back. Get ahead of manganese, boron, and copper deficiencies with Moxon from CHS. Designed with a patented Levosol chelate, Moxon increases nutrient availability and provides your crops with the nutrition they need. Ask your local CHS retailer about the power of Moxon.
American Legion Post 57 in Elgin, Illinois presents Legion Cruise Nights. Wednesdays, May 8th, June 12th, July 10th, August 14th, and September 11th from 5 to 8 p.m. Come out and enjoy a great evening of cars, food, and music. Motorcycles, cars, trucks, military vehicles are all welcome. 50-50 raffles, door prizes. The event being sponsored by the American Legion Riders Post 57, 820 North Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you, the faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
And when like Christmas time and Thanksgiving time, Brian has these little competitions. People ring up and they gobble like a turkey, and whoever gets the most votes for the best gobble off, they win a turkey for Thanksgiving.
Really? That's a great idea. That's a great radio contest. Derek has given us some great ideas here.
That's
Larry.
right.
Yeah.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Out to Lunch with WRMN, AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. We hope you are enjoying the show so far. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday morning here. The time is 10:20. Just hit 10:20 right now. We've got a little bit overcast skies today, a little bit of a breeze as well, too. Definitely fall weather Again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. Don't forget, of course, you can also comment live on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel and like the video, you can feel free to do that. It keeps you up to date and in the loop with what's happening here on WRMN and, of course, what is also going on within the Fox River Valley. So let's take a dive in to see what we've got here news-wise for Fox River Valley, brought to you by FoxValleyMagazine.com, starting off here under the news. Aurora police are investigating a fatal 3-vehicle crash that happened on Farnsworth. This was posted today by FoxValleyMagazine.com. One man is dead and 3 others in hospital after a violent 3-vehicle crash on Farnsworth Avenue in Aurora Monday afternoon. The Aurora Police Department is investigating the crash, which happened around 1 p.m. Monday at the intersection of Farnsworth Avenue and Mountain Street. Preliminary details indicate that a white 2024 Nissan Kicks traveling eastbound on Mountain Street attempted to cross Farnsworth Avenue when it was struck by at least one of 2 northbound vehicles, a black 2008 Cadillac Escalade, as well as a maroon 1997 Ford Explorer. The Explorer rolled up upon impact, and the male driver was pinned inside. Aurora Fire Department personnel then were able to take him out from the vehicle, and he was transported to Ascension Mercy Hospital with life-threatening injuries. 2 additional occupants from the other 2 vehicles were transported to the local hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the Explorer, a 27-year-old male from Aurora, succumbed to his injuries as pronounced deceased at 2:16 p.m. The Kane County Coroner's Office has taken custody of the body and will conduct an autopsy to determine the exact cause and manner of death. The Coroner's Office will release the driver's name at a later time. Aurora Police Chief Keith Cross says here, quote, "Our thoughts are with the families, with the friends and family of the young man who lost his life as they navigate this difficult time. We urge all drivers to use extra caution when traveling on busy roads and stay vigilant at intersections to prevent tragedies like this from happening," end quote. The Aurora Police Department's Traffic Division is continuing its investigation into the crash. So that was recently posted onto FoxValleyMagazine.com. So that was posted onto there. Some other things here too. Kane County Regional Office of Education continues their work during National Dropout Prevention Month. Every October, the state of Illinois releases the Illinois Report Card, which is a snapshot of data about every school district in the state. Academic performance, school environments, and the number of students and staff members are among the information compiled in these reports. The Kane County Regional Office of Education and the school districts we serve also monitor, I say we, of course, this is from Kane County Connects, I forgot to say, monitor 2 key data points, chronic absenteeism and chronic truancy rates. Although these terms, the 2 of them, are sometimes used interchangeably, they are distinct differences. The state defines a chronic absentee as a student who misses 10% of school days within an academic year with or without a valid excuse. That equals 18 days out of the average 180 days school year. Now, a chronic truant is defined by the state as a student who misses 5% of school days within an academic year without a valid excuse. However, excused absences such as those from illness, suspension, or caregiving responsibilities are not included in this figure. So the Kane County ROE staff prepared for these reports each year. They prepare for these reports each year and allocate resources based on historical trends and areas of need. So they have some outreach programs, services. The outreach team completed the following services, among others, including 620 home visits, 1,842 school visits, 324 school conferences, and 32 regional conferences. So during this time, their office also received 2,121 referrals from local schools requesting truancy assistance. So as they approach midpoint in the fall, their staff continues to leverage community and development resources in these efforts. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more information on that, that was posted by Justin Sampson with the Kane County Regional Office of Education. That was yesterday they posted that. So if you want to check out more information on that article, it's posted on KaneCountyConnects.com is where you can find that information. Also in news, of course, here you might have heard about the North Aurora Police solving the 1979 cold case. Now, I know we've talked about this earlier already here, or at least Marky B did, including also here the book by Jim Ridings, Murder in the Fox Valley. Now, I do believe we actually do. The McNeils have a copy of this at home. I know I've seen this before at our house. I think my dad did pick up a copy maybe a couple years ago when we did have, I think, Jim Ridings in the interview in studio a couple years back. And it's the true story of serial killer Bruce Lindahl. And what's interestingly enough here, too, is we're starting to see that they say, the North Aurora police say that DNA evidence has identified Bruce Lindahl as the perpetrator for a now deceased Kathy Halley back in 1979, whose body was found in the Fox River. Yes. So police officials and Kane County State's Attorney Jamie Mosser will talk about how authorities solved the Halley case during a news conference scheduled for this afternoon. And what we are going to be doing is we're going to be sharing on our screen that broadcast. So we do have access to that through Facebook. We were given permission to do that. So at 12:30, we're going to be doing that broadcast there. So stay tuned for that, which means we'll be doing Tradio a little bit earlier. So we're going to be starting our Tradio segment at 12 o'clock so that by 12:30, then we can go into that broadcast. So it's a very interesting story, the fact that this happened so many years ago. And the beautiful thing, of course, about with DNA now is that we're able to connect a lot of things that we couldn't in the past. So it's interesting. Now, Lindahl did die in 1981, has been tied to the murder of the Woodridge teen in 1976 and suspected in several other murders of young women in DuPage, Kane, and Kendall counties in the 1970s. So pretty recent news here, too. As well, but this is something I wanted to bring up here again for those of you who wanted to know about this as well. So there's going to be an interview scheduled for 12:30 today. I think this is good to carry this press conference live. We did get permission to do it as well, too. So I was forwarded the link to that. We'll make sure to pull it up on the screen so that you can also see it as well during the live broadcast. So I'll make sure to star that, of course, on my page here. And then for the recent stories, of course, Marky B did announce this already, but again, it's coming up today at 12:30. Now, who's going to be there? Of course, Jamie L. Mosser, Kane County State's Attorney, Mark Gaffino, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, Mayor of North Aurora, Joe DeLeo, North Aurora Chief of Police, and Ryan Pete, North Aurora Detective. And this is actually going to be physically located. It's at North Aurora Police Department at 200 South Lincoln Way Street in North Aurora. And then they do say that all media are invited. No additional information will be provided before the press conference. So again, we are going to be broadcasting this. We did get permission. This will be at 12:30. So stay tuned for that. We'll be having it, of course, broadcasting live here on the radio. You'll be able to listen in. Of course, you'll also be able to watch it as well on YouTube. So we'll make sure, of course, I'll share the screen so that you'll be able to see that conference. If you'd like to learn, pardon me, a little bit more information on this, of course, stay tuned for the 12:30 conference on this. I think it's going to be very interesting, especially since it's history here in the area. Not necessarily positive history, but history nonetheless. So I think it's good to raise awareness about this and to definitely talk about it as well, too. So that is that. So that will be coming up at 12:30. So that'll be at 12:30. Now, when we come back, I do want to touch briefly on something new that we're going to be trying out here with Out to Lunch. So I do want to talk about that. While time allows, I might also talk about some places to get some good pasta. Since it is Wine Down Wednesday, get some good pasta and wine. I've got a couple places to talk about. While time allows here, one's a little bit more of a fancier place to get pasta. The other one is a little bit more of a fast, casual place to kind of, give you the options when it comes to pasta. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by Linzess. In an effort to ensure that no one in Kane County faces the winter chill unprepared, the Office of Emergency Management joining forces with Maddie's Mitten March for a winter clothing drive. Community members can contribute to this noble cause by donating coats, boots, and other winter essentials on November 10th from 10:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. at the Kane County Government Center in Geneva. The City of Elgin announcing an enhancement to public safety measures by adding 2 new outdoor warning sirens located strategically to cover newly developed areas of the city. The additions can be found at 3647 Emerald Road and along Highland Avenue near Damish Road, and they increased the city's total to 25 sirens. You'll not be able to make payments online via the City of Elgin website on Thursday between 4 and 7 p.m. That's when a temporary outage will occur to allow the City of Elgin to upgrade its financial management system. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. Huge matchup this Saturday for Illini football when they visit Oregon. The 7-0 Ducks are ranked number 1. The Illini up to number 20 this week in the poll. Illinois 6-1 heading into the matchup. The NBA season tips off tonight for the Bulls with a road game against New Orleans. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off. Lonzo Ball will be available for the matchup. Been over 2 years since he played in a regular season game, dealing with various knee surgeries. Chicago is expected to have a clean injury report entering the season. NHL last night, the Canucks doubled up the Blackhawks 6-3 at United Center. Vancouver took a 4-2 lead out of the first period. Tyler Bertuzzi, Ryan Donato, and Taylor Hall had the goals for Chicago. Peter Mrazek made 24 saves.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
October is ending, but I want to keep the fall fun going. So I shopped Kohl's lowest prices of the season. I saved 30% on top active brands like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. Then I got my kids some boots for under $22. Scored 50% off Food Network baking must-haves, and earned Kohl's Cash. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Flex styles. Offers end October 27th. Coupons do not apply to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN, AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. We hope you are enjoying the show so far. Again, if you want to listen live, of course, we're available through the, the regular AM 1410 dial, of course. We're also available through the app that you can download on Google Play for Samsung users and also on the App Store for Apple users as well, too. So don't forget about that app, of course. It comes in nice and clean and clear as well, too. So that's a way you can listen to us pretty much from anywhere. Again, we are celebrating 75 years of community broadcasting and hopefully, of course, many more in the future. Now, what I wanted to do here is usually around this time, I talk about a couple places to go and get some good food, which in time I will talk about if time allows. But I do want to mention something here that the Out to Lunch show is going to be trying. We're going to be trying something new here. And we're looking forward to it. Now, it's not new in the sense, of course, it involves some great interviews, but you might be seeing and hearing some more interviews, lineups of interviews, in fact. And this is good for the Out to Lunch show because I've been trying to get more people on the show for interviews. And I want to give a shout out to Rob Southgate, who you might be familiar with him. He is he runs the Southgate Media Group, and then he had a part in the For Profit film, the For Profit movie, the Mark Stewart Iverson For Profit movie, which was of course filmed here in downtown Elgin and also in studio. We've had him in studio before. He's actually going to drop in a little bit for a little while coming up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But he gave a really fantastic suggestion, and I've been working with him. I worked with him yesterday on it. We're still working on this here too, and it's to give more content for WRMN, and of course also to give recognition to people out there who need recognition, especially authors. Now, you've heard me, of course, talk about when it comes to local libraries. Local libraries, of course, are a great place to go to when it comes to, of course, getting books, CDs, and things like that. Great place, of course, to also meet authors. I know coming up at the Gail Borden Public Library, they're going to be having, or is it Gail Borden? I'll have to double check. I know one of the local libraries, I can't remember off the top of my head, is having a meetup for local authors. So for local authors there too, it's I do believe, or it could be the Fox River Valley Public Library District. I'm going to have to double check just to make sure. I do believe it might be the maybe it's the. I'd have to double check. I can't quite remember for a fact. But again, that is pretty common. You do see that here and there at a lot of different places, of course, when it comes to local libraries. And what we want to do here is we're going to try this out. We're going to try out giving recognition to authors. So what this is, well, I'll introduce you a little bit to the Southgate Media Group. This is his website here, southgatemediagroup.com. They create entertaining conversation about pop culture, giving fans a chance to connect over their fandoms, geek out with like-minded people, and also have a voice. He's, of course, been here in downtown Elgin before many times, including also at Blue Box Cafe. Don't forget about that, of course. And so you can feel free to check out his website there, southgatemediagroup.com. But what we're planning on working with here, and we actually do have an interview coming up at 11 o'clock via Zoom, is with some authors. Now, these are authors that are currently working on some books, and we want to give them recognition. And we're going to see how this works out here, too, on the Out to Lunch show. And a lot of these authors are members of the Four Horsemen Publications. This is called fourhorsemenpublications.com. Now, what this site is about here, too, and this was shared to me by, of course, Rob Southgate, is it's emerged in response to a publishing world that doesn't give promising authors a shot at the big time. So this is a website to use where it allows people, authors, to get more recognition. And that's important too. When you're an author, you don't get, there's times when it can be kind of hard to, of course, get the word out there too. So we're going to try this out, see how it works out. And so far, I've even got a couple of these already scheduled here for next week as well. So we're going to check this out, see how it works out around the 11 o'clock hour, kind of making it a little bit more of 11:30, kind of around that time frame segment there. We'll see how it works out, of course, once we get into the swing of it, once we get into the vibe of it. But I'm excited for this. This is very exciting. I want to thank Rob for, of course, helping us with this. of course, to bring more content to Out to Lunch with WRMN. We do like to get the word out there, tell you what's going on in the area. And, a good way, of course, is by promoting some of these authors, these great authors here. So we're going to be trying to do that here. Looking forward to it. Stay tuned for that as we get into the 11 o'clock hour. We're going to be having a special guest on the air here through Zoom. So stay tuned for that. But if you do want to check out more information on some really cool authors, you can find them at fourhorsemenpublications.com, fourhorsemenpublications.com. Lots of different genres, of course, as well, too, that you can check out. You can check out their authors, narrators, editors, as well, too, on this website. So there are lots of different authors that are featured on here as well. Looking forward to communicating with a good amount of them as well here too. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up. Something that we're going to be kind of trying out here on WRMN. So stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. We'll talk a little bit here about a couple places to get some good pasta. It is Wednesday. It's Wine Down Wednesday, of course. So as you know, that means that it usually is kind of the time to get a nice glass of wine and maybe pair it with a delicious pasta. We've got here a couple places I wanted to talk about. One that's a nice wood-trimmed Italian restaurant with some delicious stove oven pizza, and of course also some good cuisine to enjoy as well. And then we've got another place that is a little bit more of the fast casual Italian cuisine. So we'll start off here with the first one. This is located in Elgin. You might be very familiar with them at 2175 Point Boulevard in Elgin. Cafe Roma. This is a wood-trimmed Italian trattoria with stove oven pizzas, pastas, and sandwiches, plus daily soups as well, too. Now, if you want to check out their website for more information, it's tastecaferoma.com. This is their website to go to. So they offer some great, delicious meal options. You can check out their menu on their website, and they're a cozy little place to get some good pasta food. Nice interior design in there as well. A nice little more fine dining experience. Get some good pasta dishes, good salads, delicious looking desserts, and maybe even some comfort food as well in the mix. Get some good pizza. Of course, pasta can be considered a comfort food, of course, especially if you do like to pack it up with some of the carbs. You don't have to worry about that. Maybe you celebrate on Wednesdays by having, no calorie count Wednesday or something. You're like, you know what? I'm not going to count the calories. I'm not going to count the carbs. I'm going to enjoy this here. So lots of good options here. The desserts look phenomenal. My goodness, the tiramisu looks pretty good. So it looks like a good place to go to. This is Cafe Roma. If you want to check out more information, you can find it on their website at tastecaferoma.com. I do believe, yes, they are also on Facebook as well. Now, they are open. They have different hours. So they're closed Sunday and Monday. They're open Tuesday and Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then they're open on Thursday and Friday, 11 a.m. until 8:30 p.m. Is when they're open. So the times are a little different there, but they're located in Randall Point is their location. Nice little place to go to get some good cuisine. Feel free to check them out. On Thursdays, they have their half-price bottle of wine, too. So if you head on out tomorrow, they're going to be having their half-price bottle of wine. We'll take a look at some of their menus here. Of course, we are out to lunch with WRMN, so let's take a look at some of their delicious lunch options to enjoy. You can try their penne rustica, which is a light cream sauce, peas and mushrooms on a penne pasta. If you do want to enjoy, of course, some pizza, they do offer pizza there too. But if you do want to kind of focus a little bit more in on the carbs of the pasta, then you can enjoy some good list of pasta. Now, these pastas include garlic cheese bread. Oh my goodness, that sounds delicious. And you also get a side salad with Romana cheese garnish on a on all non-seafood pasta. You can try a traditional chicken parmigiano with spaghetti pomodoro. You can try their fettuccine alfredo. That is actually a favorite of my brother's. Pretty much most places when it comes to pasta is the fettuccine alfredo. They've also got their fusilli con carne, which is a classic tomato meat sauce on a spiral pasta. house-made meatball included in that as well, too. You can also try, let's see some other ones that they've got. Linguine, they have a good linguine. You can try their alla vodka as well, too, with the tomato cream sauce. Flamed vodka on large tubular pasta. So they've got nice large tubular pasta there too. Now, if you don't want to get pasta here, you can also try their sandwiches and their wraps and also pizza. So they do have their sandwiches and wraps. You can do either a hot sandwich or you can also do a cold sandwich. They offer capris. You can do a San Pietro. You can try their tuna melt. They offer pollo picante. They've got their Americano, so you can do like a grilled chicken hot sandwich with barbecue and, pardon me, also bacon on there too. That sounds pretty good. You can try their Italian beef, a delicious Italian beef sandwich, Italian meatball sandwich, spicy Italian sausage. You can even add different add-ins as well. So a good list to choose from here. And if you want to check out more information, that is posted on their menu. Now, of course, that was just their lunch menu. For dinner, you can try their small plates, including their capris, bruschetta, calamari, or you can even try their different salads, Roman-style pizza. So they have a whole list of different Roman-style pizza toppings as well there too. Of course, they do offer their pasta. Lots of the pasta that's featured on their dinner menu is featured also on their lunch menu. You can also try their entrees as well, too. So they've got a good list of entrees, sandwiches as well. You can do like an Italian beef. You can do a signature burger. So they do also offer some more of the comfort food as well. And then, of course, you can't forget the delicious lineup of desserts as well, too. So that's featured on their website. Again, that is tastecaferoma.com. You can also check out their catering menu, too. If you would like to have some things catered to you, you can feel free to do that as well, especially maybe for a nice party also. Entrees, they've got a good list of entrees, pasta, cold sides, salads, again, and so much more. So feel free to check that out. They also do offer customary ingredients. So they have gluten-free, vegetarian, and also vegan options there as well too. And of course, you can always enjoy a nice sweet to end the day for catering. They've got cookies, brownies, Rice Krispie treats, mini cannolis, panna cotta, and also tiramisu, which is imported from Italy. Sounds pretty good. Get a whole tray of that. That sounds delicious. So again, that information is posted on tastecaferoma.com. That's tastecaferoma.com. We've got Wendy in the comments. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Wendy. Hopefully you're having a good day so far. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. The time is 10:47. I am going to take a quick time out, and we'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. Stay tuned.
The new novel, titled DUI Jury Trial, is the true story of two lawyers who defend a truck driver who is charged with DUI. If he's convicted, this truck driver faces a lifetime disqualification of his commercial driver's license, which would prevent him from ever driving a truck again. This 3-year legal battle culminates in a courtroom showdown, which involves the testimony of a DUI expert witness. This book, DUI Jury Trial, is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Be sure to catch The First Shift weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. for important information like fire tips from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan.
The thing in the winter that we're more concerned with is carbon monoxide, because that we don't get in the summer. That carbon monoxide issues occur because of heating equipment. Anything that burns natural gas, if it is faulty, can generate high levels of carbon monoxide, which in time can be fatal. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Every single year you will see somewhere in the country, and usually we'll get one or two in the Chicagoland area, where you'll see multiple fatalities in one home. You can't smell carbon monoxide, you can't taste carbon monoxide, you have no idea it's happening. And so it's critically important that you have the right detectors in your home.
It's The First Shift weekday mornings at 6 a.m. with me, Marky B, right here on WRMN. Come on out to the Country Donuts, that is, at Route 20 and Nestler Road. They're always open. Donuts are made daily using only the finest ingredients to ensure freshness. Their huge variety of donuts offers something to please everyone. Country Donuts doesn't stop at offering you the best donuts. Enjoy a delicious breakfast sandwich or stop in for lunch and try a bowl of their famous chili. Need a larger or special donut order for your office? Call 847-488-1900.
Looking to stay informed on the political issues that truly matter? I'm Dennis Sonar Green, inviting you to join me every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for A Political Talk Show. WRMN, the talk of the town, is where you'll find clear, balanced analysis of the day's biggest news. We dig into the headlines, cutting through the noise to deliver the facts and insights you need to stay informed. Whether you're deeply into politics or just want to understand what's going on, this show offers the depth and perspectives that matter. Tune in every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on WRMN and be part of the conversation that's shaping our community. Let's navigate today's political landscape together on A Political Talk Show, only on WRMN, the talk of the town.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN, AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. We hope you're enjoying the show so far. And, Wendy's got in the comments here, they're building a Cafe Roma in downtown Huntley. It looked like they should be done soon. Very cool. That's awesome. So it looks like there's going to be a Cafe Roma in Huntley. Let me see if I can find that here. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, so they did post it. It was on, they're going to be expanding here. Pardon me. It was on What Now Chicago posted about it here back in 2023. So it does look like here, based off of what Wendy says, it looks like they're going to be done pretty soon. That sounds pretty nice, too. So that'll be a good location to go to if you're in the Huntley location. And that's going to be expanding to the Huntley's Old Village Hall. Now, that's located at 11704 Coral Street. That's in Huntley. That's where they're located there too. So they're going to be located there, at least. It looks like they're almost done, so that's pretty nice. Thank you, Wendy, for giving us that information there as well too. So it looks like they're targeting spring or summer of 2025 opening date, but it does look like they should be done pretty soon here, says Wendy. So that's awesome. Thanks so much for mentioning that to us as well too. So see, I tell you, you folks out there, you do help us to keep to also keep all of us in the loop, including myself as well too. So I greatly appreciate it. We'll take it to the phone lines here. Hi there, caller. You're on with WRMN. Oh, you know what? I didn't put you on air. I'm sorry. Hi, you're on with WRMN.
Hey, Lunch Jack, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, brother. Hey, I was going to chime in on the Cafe Roma.
Yes.
Me and the family enjoy going there. I highly recommend the chicken teriyaki, asparagus, and garlic potatoes. It's an outstanding meal there.
Oh, my goodness. That does sound good. Now, what do you like to get it paired with? Do you pair it with like a nice drink or?
No, we're not drinkers. So I'm really a simple lemon water person. So that's it. We're pretty much drink when we get there. So.
All right, sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of a traditional kind of just water with some lemon. It's good for you.
There you go. Absolutely, yeah. Cafe Roma. It's right near Jimmy's Char House.
Right.
So it's kind of a little bit.
Does it look like when you're pulling in? When you come off Randall, you're going like, this looks a lot more like a bunch of office buildings.
Yes.
Back in there.
Yep.
Don't be discouraged. It's back there. It's worth a little drive.
So. Yep. I've been there before. I had a good pasta. It was a couple of years ago on New Year's Eve. So very good place.
Yeah.
Good dough.
Oh, yeah. The shrimp Alfredo and linguine. Outstanding, man.
So there you go. Absolutely.
So, yeah, go people. It's really good. West Side highly endorses.
Awesome. Hey, Fred, thanks for calling in again. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, my friend.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Yep.
So that's Westside Fred calling in there, talking about Cafe Roma, giving a good testimonial there. Yes, so Cafe Roma, what they're located off, if you turn off Randall here, they're kind of like between 90 and Randall. And again, they're at where Randall Point is. So it does look like it's a little bit like there's like office buildings there. So don't let that fool you, though. You turn onto Point Boulevard, and it does look like there's office buildings, but there's not. And well, there are, but it's not an office building. And it's right near Jimmy's Char House, which is another good place to go to. That's at Point Boulevard in Elgin off Randall. So if you kind of know where Jimmy's Char House is, again, off Randall, you'll be able to find it there too. The Elgin Kia is over there, of course, also. The Saddle Club Park. There's some other places along there too, where the Rookies Bar in Elgin is, El Salon, Big Sammy's Hot Dogs, all around kind of that area there. Not actually in that area, but when you go off Randall here, you'll be able to find it north. That way, so up north. If you're coming down from like Elmora or Williamsburg Green or the St. Charles area, when you're coming up, you'll be able to find it that way. So again, that is located not too far away from also McGrath Honda of Elgin as well too. Right, really closest to the Jimmy's Char House, especially if you are a foodie. You'll be able to know that. We don't have a whole lot of time to talk about the second place here, so we'll save that for another day. We'll save it for another rainy day here as well, because we have a couple minutes left before we take it to the top of the hour news, and then we'll head on into our interview, our exciting interview here. But what I want to do here is I do want to mention under events for FoxValleyMagazine.com, they did post here earlier today, coming up this Friday and Saturday, and I've read through a lot of things already that are coming up this Friday and Saturday. There's tons of Halloween events and events in general coming up this Friday and Saturday, so it's definitely a busy weekend. You'll have to decide what you want to do if there's anything out there that looks appealing to you. One of them is Napier Settlement's Howlin' at the Moon. So this is a thrilling performance or performances that you can enjoy at Napier Settlement's Howlin' at the Moon. It's a Halloween bash for adults 21 and up on October 25th through till the 26th, and that'll be from 5 to 10 p.m. is when that is going to be. Guests are going to be feasting their fangs into delicious food and drinks at the food truck graveyard and booze bar, as well as experience one-of-a-kind Halloween-themed activities, including spine-chilling art displays and photo experiences, fire dance performances, and more. There's also going to be a costume contest with the chance to win $500. That is really, really cool. They're going to be having a musical powerhouse known as the Pigeons playing ping pong. They have high-energy psychedelic funk and rock shows. That'll be coming up Friday, 8 to 10. And then they also do have a good lineup of some other shows as well, people that are going to be featured as well, too. So if you want to check out this whole list here, of course, you'll be able to find it on FoxValleyMagazine.com. At the top of the page, you'll be able to find, of course, the bar that does tell you news, events, A&E, which stands for arts and entertainment, dining, house and home, health and beauty, travel, and then just a couple of guys there, too. So you'll be able to find that there under the events section. It was recently posted. Again, if you want to check out more information on that, feel free to check out this page here, because there's a lot more information. Tickets are $20 per person. So they're $20 a person. And if you want to check out more information and tickets, napiersettlement.org/Howlin' is where you'll be able to find that information posted on there too. So pretty cool. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410 here in just a bit. We've got our interview lined up here coming up at the around 11:06 or so. So stay tuned for that. Again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Stay tuned. LaFleur Taco Grill at 910 Dundee Avenue at the corner of Slade and Elgin is under new management. Enjoy a huge selection of salads, quesadillas, tacos, burritos, and more. LaFleur Taco Grill also has American cuisine favorites and breakfast. Bring the kids. There's a kids menu that they'll love. Are you planning a party this summer? LaFleur also has catering with all types of both Mexican and American foods. Call 847-214-1306 or LaFleur Taco Grill on Facebook.
At Knucklehead's Trampoline and Indoor Amusement Park in Wisconsin Dells, you're in for a fun-packed family experience. There's a bit of something for everyone to enjoy, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. A trampoline park, full arcade, cosmic bowling lanes, and many amusement rides located in their 80,000-square-foot indoor entertainment facility. A great attraction for team-building activities or just plain fun. Open daily at the outlets at the Dells Complex in Wisconsin Dells. Contact Knuckleheads at 608-254-7332 or visit their website at knuckleheadspark.com.
Your hometown radio station since 1949.
Hey, how are you?
We are WRMN AM 1410. Elgin time, 11 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. The City of Elgin confirming trick-or-treat hours for 2024. They'll take place from 3 to 7 p.m. on Thursday, October 31st. The city encouraging everyone to join in the fun during these hours and enjoy a safe and enjoyable Halloween celebration. And remember to only visit homes where the outdoor light is on.
And I have it.
New safety regulations for smoke detectors are set to enhance residential safety across the state. Beginning January 1st, installed smoke alarms in both single and multi-family homes must include a 10-year non-removable battery. The change aims to improve the reliability of smoke detectors. Elgin's annual Pumpkin Smash event is set for November 2nd, inviting locals to compost their Halloween pumpkins and contribute to environmental sustainability. This year's event runs from 9 a.m. until noon at Hawthorne Hill Nature Center and Elgin High School. The Pumpkin Smash helps reduce methane emissions by diverting organic waste from landfills. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Looking for a place to try for breakfast or lunch? You'll find a gem of a restaurant with amazing food and great prices at the Tripleberry Cafe, 435 Angela Lane in Crystal Lake. For breakfast, try Tripleberry's strawberry cheesecake French toast, ribeye steak and eggs, or carnitas skillets. At lunch, there's the AM burger or Chipotle chicken BLT. There's delicious homemade cream of mushroom soup. For tasty home cooking, Tripleberry Cafe is the place to be. Visit tripleberrycafe.com.
My fellow Kane Countyans, I am Anthony Catella, the Republican candidate for Circuit Clerk. This election is important for Kane County as well as our country. Independent, libertarian, and all voters can make a big difference by voting for the right candidate regardless of party. I am a good, decent, honest, patriotic American called to public service. I ask you to vote for me as your next Circuit Clerk of Courts for Kane County, Illinois. Thank you, God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
NHL last night, the Canucks doubled up the Blackhawks 6-3 at United Center. Vancouver took a 4-2 lead out of the first period. Tyler Bertuzzi, Ryan Donato, and Taylor Hall had the goals for Chicago. Peter Mrazek made 24 saves. Huge matchup this Saturday for Illini football when they visit Oregon. The 7-0 Ducks are ranked number 1. The Illini up to number 20 this week in the poll. Illinois 6-1 heading into the matchup. The NBA season tips off tonight for the Bulls with a road game against New Orleans. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off. Lonzo Ball will be available for the matchup. It's been over 2 years since he played in a regular season game, dealing with various knee surgeries. Chicago is expected to have a clean injury report entering the season.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
October is ending, but I want to keep the fall fun going. So I shopped Kohl's lowest prices of the season. I saved 30% on top active brands like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. Then I got my kids some boots for under $22. Scored 50% off Food Network baking must-haves, and earned Kohl's cash. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Flex styles. Offers end October 27th. Coupons do not apply to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 11 o'clock hour of Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. We hope you are enjoying your Wednesday morning. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. It means we are in the middle of the week. So that is a good way to look at it. We're halfway through. We're getting there. And we're actually seeing here in downtown Elgin, the clouds have started to kind of go away. We are seeing that what was predicted earlier today of mostly sunny skies are already now in full circle right now, or in full happening. We've got the blue skies, beautiful sunny skies right now. So that's something, of course, to be grateful for. Now, again, we did talk a little bit earlier here about something new that we're going to be trying out here on Out to Lunch, and I'm so excited about it. I think this is going to be an awesome opportunity to, of course, get some great content here on Out to Lunch, and also be able to recognize authors, especially authors who, are currently writing books, or maybe even getting started in writing some books here as well. I was directed by Rob Southgate. You might be familiar with him if you're watching now on YouTube or listening live. We've had him here in studio. He was also in the for-profit film that they filmed here that I was also an extra in as well. Had a great time. That was back in June of 2019. So he's been helping us here at WRMN, working with him to get some great content. He owns Southgate Media Group, and I'm very excited to be working there with him. And he's going to come on the air, of course, also coming up tomorrow too, which I did mention earlier to those of you listening in. So stay tuned, of course, for more information on that. Now, I want to welcome to the stage here Sarah Cioto. Am I pronouncing the name correctly here?
Not quite.
Okay.
Cito, but
Cito. Okay.
I respond to any of it. I've heard it all, so I know it's mine. I'm like, yep, they're trying to call me. Yep.
So people know this about me personally, that I can't pronounce stuff for the life of me. I just
You're
can't.
perfect.
But,
you're beautiful. You're perfect. It's all good.
Awesome.
Don't worry about it.
So Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself. You are an author. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I reside in Southwest Florida. I've been writing since 2018. My book series with Four Horsemen Publications is called The Houses of Lorien Hollow. It is a supernatural thriller series, lots of twists and turns. When I talk to people about the book and I'm in a hurry, I'm like, think Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets modern day Game of Thrones, and throw in a lot of angst and action. All good, right? So
yep.
I'm on the first book, The Soundtrack to Your Scream, released. It actually released just this past Saturday.
Awesome.
Yes, it was great. It was so great. It's released to some high praise, and I am so thrilled for everyone to read it. The Soundtrack to Your Scream is the first in the series. The second book in the series, The Reverie of Recompense, is also done, and that'll be out in spring. So typically what happens is my readers will read the book, throw it at the wall, and then email me, when is the next one coming out?
Hey,
and
that's great.
It's great, but it's like, I don't know. I haven't even thought about it yet, but that anxiousness and that excitement over my work, it gets me every time. I love it.
That is so cool. Now, what got you inspired to write in this genre? And are there even, like particular themes of fear that you find yourself kind of exploring repeatedly in your work? But we'll start with this one. What got you inspired?
So, great question. I love answering this question. So I had worked so hard my entire college career to get into a specific company. It's my dream job to work there. So I got in, I struggled and I worked and I pushed and I got in, and it turned into the dream job from the worst of the worst. So I went to my psychiatrist because I have bipolar 2 disorder. So I went to her after having a panic attack at work, and I said, I put all my eggs in one basket here for this job and this career in this industry, but now I'm so unhappy. What do I do with my life? And she's like, listen, I want you to go home and journal. So I said, okay, I'll do that. Now, prior to this, I don't have any experience writing. So, this was my first go at it. And I got home that night and I started writing and reliving these experiences I had. And it just made me feel worse. So that's not to discount journaling. It works so well for so many people. But for me, it was just, it just didn't fit. So I backspaced that document. My little fluffy, foofy dog was asleep on my lap. It's nice and chill. And I said, you know what? I just want to get lost. So I created Lorien Hollow. Sentence became a paragraph a page a chapter. 93,000 words later, 6 months later, I had my first book. So in a way, I feel that writing saved me, and I found my gift through the worst situation. So it's so inspired by the world around me, my trials and tribulations, as well as, the people I love. So yeah.
Wow, that's an awesome story. I mean, it's a story that a lot of people out there can resonate to, and that's the beautiful thing too about when you tell your story. There are people out there that say, "Hey, I've been through that too," or I've been through a very similar thing, and you're able to connect with people in your book. And I think that is that's awesome. That people,
And I just, my favorite part about that is breaking down those stigmas about these mental health disorders. My main character in my book, she is the bravest heroine you will ever meet in your life. She is the one who leads the men around. but the thing that she sees as weak about herself is the fact that she struggles with bipolar disorder. So my character may or may not be a reflection of me, because I may or may not have put myself into my work, but I did that. It's as a form of therapy. So knowing and creating this amazing book series that people attach themselves to, and it resonates, and I get, so I'm going to go into an anecdote. Like, I'm just that person. I dip dive everywhere. So for instance, like this past weekend, when the book released, I did a horror convention down here in the Fort Myers area. And after that, I had a book release event. So the panel that I hosted with other Four Horsemen authors, it went beautifully. It was so good, full room, so much engagement. The crowd was in it to win it. So I zip-zopped, zooeyed down to my book release, and it was about a 40-minute drive. I'm talking to friends, setting up, and the book release started, and a woman comes in, and my friend is like, I think someone wants to talk to you. So he directs her to me, and she says, I want to say thank you. And I said, oh, okay, well, what can I do for you? She's like, I was just at your panel, and everything you said about how you went through such a bad situation and you were in this dark place, hearing that and the fact that you found writing and it got you out of it, that's an inspiration to me to get myself out of the bad space I'm in right now today. So I just wanted to thank you for that. And she walked out. She drove the 40 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Just to tell me thank you. And I was just blown away, because the most amazing thing that you can get back from writing is giving something to someone. So seeing that connection made with my work, seeing that connection I can make with people as an author, it's just a beautiful, just an astounding, beautiful thing. And I just love it so much.
Oh my goodness. That is so awesome. That is such a cool story that, that you, of course, were able to experience it in person, the thank you from her. I think that is really, really cool.
It was amazing. Yes.
That is so cool. We've got a comment here on the YouTube side of things. Raquel says, love this book and author. Very nice.
Aww.
Very
hearts.
nice.
All the hearts, Raquel. I love you. You're
awesome.
Amazing.
Very cool. Now, I'll also ask this question too for reader reactions. What kind of reactions? I mean, we've talked about the reaction. You've already seen the reactions, of course. But what do you hope people? What reactions do you hope to elicit from your readers? Are there particular, even more in-depth emotions and thoughts you aim to provoke your stories? I mean, we've already talked about this, of course, too.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a great question, actually. I love scaring people. So getting that reaction is always fun. I do love giving, I think as an author, the genre I chose to write in, supernatural thrillers, I just love the pace. So it's such a hot pace. It moves. And I want to make people's heart race the way R.L. Stine made my heart race when I was a kid,
Yeah, me too.
He's my hero. I love him to death. I just, Fear Street was my everything. And that, so I took a lot from R.L. Stine in regards to writing style. So if anyone out there is familiar with R.L. Stine's Fear Street series, you'll definitely want to check out The Houses of Lorien Hollow.
Very, very cool. Now, does your book incorporate a mixture of fantasy and reality? Well, I know reality, but also fantasy. Is that also incorporated in there too?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's, I guess you would say like urban fantasy, supernatural thriller, urban fantasy. You have elements of different evolved species. So the book itself, the book series, The Houses of Lorien Hollow, follows a town situated in Florida near St. Augustine. The town of Lorien Hollow was founded by 5 houses. supernatural evolved species. So there's sanguivores, my vampires, shapeshifters, necromancers, conjurers, and immortals. And there's a sixth house of the guardians. And the guardians are humans who act as a police force to police the crimes, supernatural crimes that happen between those houses. So the town of Lorien Hollow is full of normal people who have no idea what's going on beneath the surface. So the soundtrack to your scream starts with our heroine Joan. We get to meet her as a guardian. She's investigating ritual murders, and as she's doing so, she starts uncovering conspiracies about Lorien Hollow that she could have never fathomed. It destroys relationships. It causes, betrayal. There's elements of, loss and a win, and that hero's journey is so prevalent, and it's so relatable. My heroine is so not what you would expect. She's short, she's pudgy, she's really, really rude and shameless. She has no filter. She's addicted to Sprite, addicted to Twizzlers. She doesn't like to listen. Like, she is. And what I love about my character is she's so strong and tough, but she's so loving and sweet. And she does everything from the bottom of her heart, and everything she says is just facts. She's always talking from her heart. And my readers see that in her, and they relate, because that's something that everyone wants to be, strong as well as loving. So, bringing that to the world is just so nice. It feels good to have a character and a heroine like Joan out there. So
yeah, that's awesome. That is really, really cool. I have another question for you too. Of course, all writers usually go through like writer's block. You've been there before. What's a good way? What's like a good coping mechanism to help you get out of writer's block? What's something that kind of inspires you to get out of that when you do approach it?
So it's funny. I'm actually a creative writing teacher and English teacher, 12th grade English.
Oh, nice. So
this, with my creative writing kids, this is something we discuss frequently. And my advice for writer's block, after being, in that, having seen my kids in that, the best thing is this experimentation. So getting through writer's block, I think there's so many different ways to do it. It's like getting the hiccups. People will tell you, hold your breath. Someone say, drink water upside down, this, that, and the, let me scare you. All these weird things. And different things can work for, one person, but we don't know what works until we experiment with other things. So I always encourage my kids to do some free writing or speed writing, where they just keep writing, and, a timer goes off and they stop, so just getting words on paper is the best way to begin to break through writer's block.
Just, writing what comes to mind too.
Absolutely.
Is good also. Absolutely. Well, Sarah, I want to thank you so much for being on here today on WRMN. This has been such a great experience. We're so looking forward to also having other authors as well, starting in this series. I'm looking forward to it. I know many others out there will as well too.
I am floored to have been on this show. I had so much fun. This is such a pleasure, and I hope everyone gets a chance to check out the soundtrack to your scream. Like I said, it released Saturday. So exciting.
Nice.
And you can find it through Four Horsemen, publications.com. You can find it on barnesandnoble.com. There's multiple ways to get to it. And if you love it and you review it and you want to get a hold of me, get a hold of me. I want to hear all about it firsthand. I love connecting with readers. So Thank you for giving me this platform today.
You're very, very welcome. How can people find you to contact you if anyone's interested?
Absolutely. So the best way is through Instagram. My Instagram handle is my name, @Saracito. So you can reach out to me, feel free to message me. You can share something and I'll totally get back to you. Any questions and comments, I'm all ears. I just love connecting with people and seeing what they thought of my work, because it's very strange knowing that my book lives in the head of, people all over the world.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I love connecting. So anytime.
Awesome. And before I let you go, we do have a comment here by a user by the name of I Am Awesome. Sarah is a great inspiration to her students, creating future writers and authors. Very nice. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Well, Sarah, I want to thank you again for being on here today. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and never stop doing what you're doing. Absolutely. So.
You as well. This was beautiful. Thank you again so much.
You're very welcome, and have a good rest of your day.
You too.
All righty. Bye-bye now. All right, that was Sarah here. Sarah Cito, thanks so much for joining us here. Let me make sure I go back to my screen here. There we go. All right. Thank you so much for calling in today through Zoom. That's Sarah Cito. If you want to check out more information on her really cool book, check it out. That is on fourhorsemenpublications.com. Again, fourhorsemenpublications.com. You can also find her on Instagram at Sarah Cito. That's where you'll be able to find her. SARAHSEADO. Very, very nice. Really great author. She's got lots of character, and you can tell that she loves what she's doing. And that's important. That's so important when you're an author, to love what you're doing. There's always going to be times when you're struggling as a writer. You go through writer's block, you go through things in life, but when you're able to incorporate that into your writing, that is real and that is raw. It's really real and raw when you're able to incorporate that. And I already see that, of course, with her book here. So if you want to check it out, it's called The Soundtrack to Your Scream, The Houses of Lorien Hollow, book number 1. And if you want to check out more information, you can find it on 4, that's the number 4, horsemanpublications.com for more information. So very, very cool. And again, this is going to be definitely a lot of fun having these authors on here, getting more, of course, recognition for them, as well as, of course, working together. It's important to do that, get the word out, work together as well too. So again, thank you to Sarah for coming on today to WRMN AM 1410. If anyone out there is who joined in the video today wants to check out our website, WRMN1410.com, you can feel free to check that out. If you would like to email me, Matt McNeil, you can feel free to do that. My email is mattmcneil@WRMN1410.com. That's MATTMCNEIL at WRMN1410.com. If you want to email me, let me know. Absolutely. We love to get the word out here. WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. And we're looking forward to having more interviews on here too. Seeing as so far it's working out great. So hopefully, other people are enjoying this as well. So stay tuned for more in the future. We're going to be having Rob Southgate coming on here on the air coming up tomorrow. Don't forget, coming up at 12:30, we are going to be doing the live broadcast of the conference, so you don't want to miss out on that as well. So, of course, stay tuned for that, of course. We are working again to make sure we get that information out there. You'll be able to, of course, also watch it as well, too. So very good. Again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Yes. Don't forget also here too, coming up on Friday is the game. I forgot to mention this earlier here. It is the Hampshire Whippers game. So you don't want to miss out on that also. That'll be coming up here. That is the junior and cheer. If you want to check out information on the entire lineup, you can visit, it's the Hampshire Whippers. I'm sorry. Let me go back to the website here. The Hampshire Whippers. There we go. Illinois High School Association. And this is the football game. Okay. I'm like, let me get the schedule. maxpreps.com. There we go. That's more like it. Coming up here this Friday on the 25th at 7 p.m., it is the Hampshire Whippers versus the Crystal Lake Central. There you go. So if you want to check out more information on that, you can visit their website, maxpreps.com. Sounds like a good time. Definitely. Those games are very well conducted also too. So very cool. And there's actually the entire lineup there you can take a look at maxpreps.com for more information on everything. Of course, that's coming up there with the different football schedules. And that, of course, also includes baseball, basketball, boys basketball, girls basketball, girls volleyball on Max Prep. So you can just search on there too. You can search a certain school or location, and you can check out the schedule, roster, videos, standings, rankings, news, and a whole lot more. It's a great website to use for sure. So again, definitely want to share that with you so that you can get that information, of course. Very nice. Don't forget, of course, we also do have our weekly lineup here. We've got Studio 14 mornings with Marky B from 6 to 10. We've got Out to Lunch with WRMN happening now until 1 o'clock. We also do have Fox Valley Afternoons. That'll be coming up here from 2 until 6 o'clock. Fox Valley Afternoons is Monday through Thursday, 2 to 6. 2 to 4 is Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. And then 4 to 6 is a political talk show. Yes. And then on Fridays, we have Dino's Night Out, which is from, 2 to 4. 2 to 4 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up on Friday. And then, of course, also the 4 to 6 as well, too, on Fridays. A political talk show. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN, AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. You're listening to Matt here, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. And we'll be back here in just a bit as we get to the bottom of the hour news and messages from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we will discuss the National Day Calendar. Don't forget, we're going to be trading a little bit earlier at 12 o'clock because then we have our conference coming up here, the live stream of the conference coming up at 12:30. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more in just a bit.
This is WRMN News. Hello, I'm Dennis Green. A congressional task force calls the July assassination attempt on former President Trump a lack of planning and coordination between the United States Secret Service and law enforcement partners. News Nation's Joe Cahill has more.
The bottom line conclusion is the task force says the attempt on the former president's life was absolutely preventable, that Thomas Crooks, the would-be assassin, should never have even been in a position to successfully assassinate the president. He was inches away from doing so. Now, this report is the one that the Speaker of the House, Republican, and the Democratic leader, they put this task force together to investigate.
The task force staff writes that it will continue to investigate the July assassination attempt. WRMN News, I'm Ben Boquist. Anderson Humane has been the leading animal welfare organization in Elgin for years. This holiday season, they're focusing on bringing you custom pet ornaments. For $25 at their website, ahconnects.org, you submit your favorite picture, which will turn out to be a powerful celebration of your furry friend. Thanks to a generous donation from one of their supporters, they're offering custom ornaments engraved with your pet's image. The limited time offer includes an approximately 4-inch around wooden ornament. Instructions for submission will be emailed upon receipt of the purchase. Pickup will be at the Anderson Humane St. Charles office. Anderson Humane on their website gave a special thanks to Janet and John Mendel of Urbanshire Enterprises for donating 100% of proceeds to Anderson Humane. The portraits must be uploaded digitally as they are laser etched into the wood. They even have options for paying with cash or check. WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
Join me, your host, Michael Francis Tuman, on my radio show, Chief Guard of the Republic, where we talk about all things national security and defense. Other topics will include personal security, safety, and dealing with law enforcement situations. Call in, ask me questions. I will get you answers. Every week, Saturday, noon until 1 p.m., here on Fox River Valley's 1410 AM, WRMN Elgin.
A dream that's been cooking for years, Maria's Little Italy in Sycamore is waiting for you to come and enjoy authentic recipes handed down for generations. Stop in and enjoy bruschetta, handmade focaccia bread, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. Dine in, take out, delivery, or catering is all available. Go to mariaslittleitaly.com and see what you've been missing. From their family to yours, welcome to Maria's Little Italy, where food brings families together.
Twin Zeros at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, Illinois. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com.
Twins Gyros Restaurant in Harwood Heights not only serves traditional gyros, but also has chicken gyro sandwiches. Twins Gyros also serves a variety of sandwiches ranging from cheeseburgers and Vienna beef hot dogs that have recently been inducted into the Vienna Beef Hot Dog Hall of Fame, Italian beef, Italian sausage, and combo sandwiches, to ethnic favorites such as Slovakia and Grecian chicken. Slovakia is shish kebabs, specifically chicken or pork shish kebabs, grilled to perfection, served on a warm pita with tomatoes, onions, and our homemade tzatziki sauce. You can also enjoy barbecue ribs served every day. Twins is open 7 days a week and also delivers locally. Located at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, check out the full menu at twinsgyros.com. That's twinsgyros.com.
Welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. It is 11:34 currently right now, which means we're still in the morning, but we are surely getting into the afternoon time coming up pretty soon here, of course, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget, of course, coming up at 12:30, we're going to be doing that live broadcast. This is the live stream for the press conference about the 1979 cold case. Involving Bruce Lindahl, as well as I'm sorry, here, let me go back, as well also involving the death of North Aurora resident Kathy Halley. DNA evidence has identified serial killer Bruce Lindahl as the perpetrator. So kind of interesting there, and I think it's an important segment to of course, be able to recognize there too. And so we were given permission to be a part of sharing that press conference. So stay tuned for that. That'll be at the 12:30 time frame there too. Start at 12:30, which means at 12 o'clock we'll be doing our early broadcast of the Tradio segment. So Tradio will be starting at 12:30. Again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410. Let's talk a little bit about here. What are the national days? What are days to celebrate, recognize, to enjoy, and more? We've got some days recognized today. Oh, this is interesting. We were talking with Sarah here, as she is an author of a horror book. This is National Horror Movie Day. Is today. Oh my goodness, yes, it is National Horror Movie Day today. That sounds like fun, which means I might have to watch a horror movie tonight. I've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've been binge watching some of those later at night. Just a fun, relaxing show to watch. If you say, what? Relaxing? Yeah, I find it relaxing. And some of it's funny too, with Sarah Michelle Gellar. So I, of course, for the longest time knew about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I never watched it. So this is the first time watching it. I'm still on the first season of the 7th. So I'll get there. So it is National Horror Movie Day today, happening today on October 23rd. Halloween, of course, is in the air, and it brings fans together of fans of witches, ghouls, zombies, monsters, spiders, and also pumpkins. Stores are filled with everything Halloween fans love. In fact, Halloween is a time when abundance of horror movies are available for viewing in theaters and also on streaming apps. So I'm going to show you here too. Let's take a look at this. Top 10 horror movies of 2024 and of all time. We'll take a look here and see what we've got. Well, you know, there's, of course, the general suggestion of the many movies that are featured out there, of course, the considered classic ones when it comes to horror movies: Halloween, The Shining, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Exorcist. I do have a poster of The Exorcist in my office, there. So that's pretty cool as well. I'm a big Exorcist fan. Go Linda Blair. Also Silence of the Lambs. I mean, there's movies, of course, like Psycho, Poltergeist, Rosemary's Baby, and many, many more out there as well. Hereditary is a good movie. I enjoyed that one. That was made in 2018. The Conjuring film series are pretty good as well, too. So there's lots of good ones out there. Do I have a favorite? I guess you could say it's The Exorcist. There's a lot of really good ones out there that I do enjoy. I like the movie Orphan with Isabella Fuhrman and Vera Farmiga. I think that's a good one as well. About the orphan from Estonia. Yeah, she's well, I won't spoil it for you, but that's a good one. I recently saw the second movie too. I enjoyed that one as well. They did a good job with that one, but of course the original from 2008, I like watching that one too. Kind of as a comfort film. Not a comforting story at all, but as a comfort horror movie, I like watching that one. There you go. Some good ones out there, of course. Lots of things that you can check out. Now, top 10 horror movies, I would say, like, of 2024. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, those Terrifier movies are really becoming quite popular, but a lot of people have, been, like, apparently leaving the theaters because of the film and things like that, too. You've seen a lot of those trends on, like, TikTok and Instagram and Facebook Reels where, people are like, this is the scariest movie of the year. You can't watch it alone. And, I almost fainted watching it. And then people are like, what? No, it's not that bad. Or people are like, yeah, it is scary. So everyone's different, of course, but lots of good ones out there for sure. I mean, you can even find, like, on Rotten Tomatoes, 50 best new horror movies of 2024 that people are liking. Beetlejuice. Well, that one's not really horror. It's just kind of fun, kooky Tim Burton film. I categorize that as Tim Burton, as like a movie genre is Tim Burton. You've got different genres of movie. Whenever I see like Tim Burton films, I'm like, that's Tim Burton, like its own genre, kind of in and of its own. Late Night with the Devil. I've seen some clips of that one. There's a lot of other ones that are new that are out there as well too. I am trying, the Quiet Place movies as well, people, that's pretty popular. The Smile movies, Long Legs, I did see some clips from that one, not as creepy as I thought, kind of funny to me. That's the thing about horror movies, is I usually kind of laugh at a lot of them, but some of them are creepy. Really, when it's like the psychological thrillers, those ones are usually creepy to me. So how to celebrate, of course, National Horror Movie Day today? Well, of course, rent a horror movie, watch it. A lot of streaming places, Netflix, Tubi for free, Hulu. I mean, a lot of different ones. Amazon Prime, lots of good places to, of course, do that. So there's tons of movies out there to watch. Many that I know that I love and can't even remember. So that is a day recognized today. Of course, you can celebrate by, watching a horror movie today. Another day also recognized today. It is Boston Cream Pie Day today. That sounds pretty good. You can eat a Boston cream pie while watching a horror movie. Do a nice combination there too. It is recognized today. Pie lovers, move along. Cake lovers, pull up a chair. We can celebrate the cake with an identity crisis. It's Boston Cream Pie Day. Very good. And pretty easy to make as well, too. We've got comments in the YouTube side of things. Terry says, I love good horror films. Hereditary is one of the scariest I've seen. I also love The Shining, also one of my favorites as well. I think what's creepy about The Shining, of course, is the story, but also what Shelley Duvall went through in those scenes, too. It's like also like, it's sad, but also kind of scary too, because she really had like a mental breakdown about it in one scene. So, I mean, they had to do so many takes of the same scene, and it's like, oh my goodness, I'm just, her crying was literally real because she was so stressed out about that scene. But that's what made it, creepy and sad, and, a lot of different emotions there too. So lots of different things out there. Of course, movies. Yeah, Hereditary is creepy with Toni Collette. Very well done film. I did see that in the theaters. And I thought it was pretty good. So there you go. I did do a little bit of a snooping of spoilers before, because I was like, I don't know. I mean, they really hyped up that movie. I was kind of like, am I going to be too scared? Especially in the theater, it's a different experience. I don't know. Today's also National Mole Day. The numbers, the moles, the chemistry, when it comes to chemistry. Chemists and chemistry students mark the occasion each year on October 23rd. Now, when I was in high school, I had a science teacher who celebrated Mole Day, and he'd bring in like treats. He'd bring in like little treats for us, which I think is pretty cool. Now, more specifically, the celebration takes place between 6:02 a.m. and 6:02 p.m. In the U.S., the time and dates are written as 6:02-10:23. The time and date are derived from Avogadro's number. I should know this. 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power, hence defining the number of particles, atoms, or molecules in 1 mole of a substance. And that's why we celebrate that. So, yeah, I remember that in high school. That was always fun. Celebrating Mole Day was fun. So there you go. Now, how many moles are in a zero? Well, we don't know how many, actually. What are some group numbers separated by commas in a large number called? Well, each segment of a number between commas are called periods. There you go. That's a day celebrated today, National Mole Day. Might be able to find some at school, or some teachers do that too. So, you know, pretty cool. Today's also National TV Talk Show Host Day today. How cool is that? That is awesome. Getting ready to go live before studio audience on National TV Talk Show Host Day today, creating to pay tribute to TV talk show hosts and appreciate their unique form of humor, entertaining stories, spontaneous wit, and timely political jokes as well, too. I would also say it could be a day to celebrate also the YouTube streamers, like, I don't know, WRMN, right? Or anyone else out there, too, that streams on Twitch or maybe some other streaming platforms. People that are on TikTok, people that use Substack, things like that could also be a day as well, too. Anyone who's in front of a camera, giving good entertainment content as well, too, and maybe even being kind of a character as well, too. Because here at WRMN, we're all kind of characters, right? I mean, if you really think about it, you know, you've got Marky B in the morning, very informative, also has some dry sense of humor, has interview, has you know, the first shift listeners, and I've got me, and I'm kind of kooky and stuff. You know, so different things like that, different characters all coming together. And you could say the same thing about a lot of different TV shows as well, too. So talk shows come in a variety of platforms. Daytime talk shows provide a combination of current events, health updates, technology news, and also entertainment as well. So how to observe it, learn about TV talk show history, practice your talk show voice, tell a few one-liners of your for your family, and discover some of the history behind the comedy associated with late night talk shows. So there you go. Some good ones out there. The time is 11:46. We're going to take another quick time out. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. I'll kind of briefly mention a little bit more on some days recognized today, kind of go through some general things that are happening in the area. And then we'll head on into the top of the hour news, messages from our sponsors. Then we'll go into our Tradio segment earlier so that we can touch base with the live broadcast coming up at 12:30. So stay tuned for that. You're listening to and watching WRMN AM 1410, and we'll be back in just a bit.
WRMN says thank you to all of our local veterans, like Jerry Christofferson of True Patriots Care.
We had the 1,700 flags up across from the wall. That's how many POWs and MIAs from Vietnam are still missing. Plus, we do veterans and first responders funerals.
Yeah.
And so if you ever drive by a funeral home or a church or a cemetery and you see the flags, you know a soldier died today.
Go to TruePatriotsCare.com for more information. And veterans, thank you for your service to our country.
For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help you.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
You can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast right here on WRMN, 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Noory with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Come see the only train-themed restaurant where all the seating is on the tracks. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill on Main Street in both Bartlett and Glen Ellen is always fun and always fresh. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill serves 100% grass-fed beef hot dogs and burgers. There's also chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and more, all loaded up on 2 Lionel O scale trains and delivered directly to your seat. No one sits away from the fun, regardless of age. When a train arrives delivering your food, you'll smile ear to ear. Visit twotoots.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
When you need your banker, they should be ready to put you first. At Wintrust, you can have the banking experience you need and the one you deserve. Ready for a change? We've made it even easier. Our new sophisticated online platform makes opening accounts a breeze, but our bankers are always here for you. Open a new Total Access checking account in minutes at wintrust.com/fast. Plus, get $300.
$100 required to open. Requirements to qualify. Must use link to apply.
Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley. Talk of the Town. We hope you are enjoying the show so far. We're getting closer to the 12 o'clock hour. Got about 10 minutes left, so stay tuned. You're listening to WRMN AM 1410. We have a commenter by the username Aki. The author is my sister. Oh, how nice. Awesome. I bet you're very proud. I bet you're very proud of her. That is awesome. Very, very cool. I'm glad you were able to listen in and comment in. So thank you so much. Very cool. We're getting some comments here. That's awesome. So if you want to watch us live on youtube.com at WRMN Radio, you can feel free to check us out there. If you want to hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell. You can always keep up to date and in the loop with what's happening here on WRMN and also within the Fox River Valley. Let's take a look here at some other days recognized today. It is Medical Assistant Day today. Now, it's a great time to explore this important, fast-growing career. Medical assistants provide clinical and administrative support for physicians and other medical professionals by running the front office, drawing blood, administering vaccinations, taking patients' vital signs, and so much more. So they are a vital part of course, the medical field. And this is a day recognizing the contributions and important work of our nation's over 190,000 medical assistants, according to the American Association of Medical Assistants. It's really kind of hard to believe that there was a time when all the work that medical assistants do, both administratively and clinically, was not considered a credentialed profession. Interesting. But in 2016, the AAMA celebrated 60 years of achievements in the groundbreaking field of medical assisting. Very, very cool. I mean, you go back to 1955, the Kansas Medical Assistants gathered to create a national organization to get official recognition and fully credentialed medical profession. That was when you go back to their Wayback Machine back in 1955. So the group settled on the name with 78 representatives from 15 states chipping in $5 to start their memberships to help with educational support. But the biggest push for the fledgling organization came with the work of Maxine Williams, who co-founded the AAMA, became the first president in 1956, and appreciated today as the powerhouse behind the organization. Now, Williams believed that the entire healthcare industry would be greatly enhanced by the work of certified medical assistants. To help with this effort, in 1959, Williams donated $200 out of her own pocket to assist needy students who wanted to enter the field. That seed money has turned into the Maxine Williams Scholarship Fund, an annual scholarship that actually helps worthy students to this day, which is awesome. Medical Assistance Day is actually a part of an entire week devoted not only to informing the public about critical work that medical assistants do daily. It's also a day, of course, also used to recruit people who might be interested in working in this field and learning a little bit more about it as well, too. So very, very cool. They have a website, AAMA, that you can check out. So that's a day to recognize today. Let's see here. Today's also National Croc Day. If you do like wearing a nice pair of Crocs, there you go. They are actually making a big comeback as well. Everywhere from college campuses to fashion runways, celebrity feet to comedy stage. And they're vibrant, versatile, and comfortable as well, too. So it's National Croc Day today. Now, the actual first originated, believe it or not, Crocs were originally designed as a boating shoe. The beach design launched in 2002 as a perfect at a event called the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. The shoes were actually such a hit that 200 sold on that day. Over the course of time, 300 million pairs of Crocs have been sold. So, of course, bottom line there, at any given time, somebody somewhere is showing off their Crocs. So that's a good way to celebrate today, National Croc Day, in the style of the beach. Started in 2002 and still riding the waves in popularity to this day. Recognizing also today is National iPod Day. The simple days of the iPod. You remember those nanos, correct, right? The iPod Touch. What a fantastic thing that was in technology times during that time when the iPod Touch came out. Oh my goodness. If you owned an iPod Touch, everyone's like, I want to use it. That was how it was with me. I got one in, I think, 6th grade, maybe 5th or 6th grade. Everyone's like, can I borrow it? I'm like, well, you got to get your own headphones. I don't want to use the same headphones as you. Not really. People were like, no, just let them be. So they did. Yeah, so the very first iPod was sold October 23rd in 2001 by Steve Jobs. After selling 400 million units, generating billions of dollars in revenue, and changing the landscape of the music industry, the iPod has silently disappeared from the public eye. However, not to be forgotten. I do kind of feel like it's kind of coming back into style. Like we're seeing it with CD players are coming back into style, which if you want to listen to some great CD music, check out CD Showcase on Saturdays. That's from 7 to 9 with Court Stevens. He has some CDs here, too, that he plays. He's got a nice CD board there that Dino helped make out. So very, very cool. So the iPod definitely stands out from the rest as it revolutionized the way that we listen to and store our music. I was always so fascinated with my cousins who had the latest of the iPods as well, too. Growing up, they always had the latest of technology, and I was like, oh, I want the iPod. I want the iPod. I said as a kid, and I got one in 6th grade. So I was very excited. 5th or 6th grade. I was very excited about that. The iPod Touch, and that opened a wide world of different things as well too. So again, it's definitely revolutionized, and it's kind of it kind of gives back that kind of a style. You've got like the little iPod Nano, and you've got it. I remember like seeing people with it at airports in the 2000s when I was a kid. I remember seeing people having it, and I'd look over, I'd be like, oh, it's so cool. It's a little device. It's got a little screen. Yeah, so I was very much interested in that. But now we look at it, we're like, usually, because we've got the touchscreen phones, and how much technology has advanced since then is absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. We've got celebrity birthdays today. Ryan Reynolds, he's a funny guy. Ryan Reynolds is celebrating his birthday today. He's 48. Very nice. He's has a net worth of $150 million. You've seen him with the Mint Mobile commercials as well, too. It's also Weird Al Yankovic's birthday today. He is 65. Oh, my goodness. He's 65. I remember watching him in the 2000s, the 2010s on YouTube. Oh, my gosh. Do you remember the simple days of YouTube? All the YouTubers out there. Jenna Marbles, Grace Helbig. Oh, my goodness. Who are some other ones? Weird Al was on there. Graveyard Girl. I mean, there was tons. I used to watch tons of those ones. The simpler days of YouTube. Oh my goodness. Were those the days? The days have gone. YouTube has changed so much. I'm saying this now as I'm streaming live on YouTube. Oh my goodness. But this does wrap it up here for the second hour of Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Stay tuned. We're going to be back with more here in just a bit. What we're going to do is we're going to start off our Tradio segment a little bit earlier today, starting at the 12 o'clock hour, around 12:06 or so, going into Tradio. And then at 12:30, we're going to be doing that live broadcast, or we'll be sharing the live conference. So stay tuned for that. Again, you're listening to Out to Lunch with WRMN.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400, and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 12 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by Linzess. You'll not be able to make payments online via the City of Elgin website on Thursday between 4 and 7 p.m. That's when a temporary outage will occur to allow the City of Elgin to upgrade its financial management system. In an effort to ensure that no one in Cade County faces the winter chill unprepared, the Office of Emergency Management joining forces with Maddie's Mitten March for a winter clothing drive. Community members can contribute to this noble cause by donating coats, boots, and other winter essentials on November 10th from 10:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. at the Kane County Government Center in Geneva. The City of Elgin announcing an enhancement to public safety measures by adding 2 new outdoor warning sirens located strategically to cover newly developed areas of the city. The additions can be found at 3647 Emerald Road and along Highland Avenue near Damish Road, and they increased the city's total to 25 sirens. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Adrenaline Monkey is located inside the Life Zone 360 building on Route 72 in West Dundee. Release your inner wild child at Adrenaline Monkey. It's the area's highest octane indoor adventure center. Perfect for the whole family too. Adventurers of all ages can try Ninja Warrior obstacles, rock climbing, vertical adventures, and aerial course. Adrenaline Monkey can also host your organization's team building programs. Half-day and full-day sessions are available. Visit adrenalinemonkeyfun.com/WD.
We are Lions International, the world's largest service organization. We are volunteers committed to strengthening our communities and supporting those in need, one act of kindness at a time. For more than a century, Lions have been serving a world in need, right here in our community and around the world. Lions International makes the impossible possible. This is your invitation to join us, because the only thing missing from our mission to make a difference is you. Visit lionsclub.org to find a local Lions Club near you.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The NBA season tips off tonight for the Bulls with a road game against New Orleans. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off. Lonzo Ball will be available for the matchup. It's been over 2 years since he played in a regular season game, dealing with various knee surgeries. Chicago is expected to have a clean injury report entering the season. NHL last night, the Canucks doubled up the Blackhawks 6-3 at United Center. Vancouver took a 4-2 lead out of the first period. Tyler Bertuzzi, Ryan Donato, and Taylor Hall had the goals for Chicago. Peter Mrazek made 24 saves. Huge matchup this Saturday for Illini football when they visit Oregon. The 7-0 Ducks are ranked number 1. The Illini up to number 20 this week in the poll. Illinois 6-1 heading into the matchup.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
October is ending, but I want to keep the fall fun going, so I shopped Kohl's lowest prices of the season. I saved 30% on top active brands like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. Then I got my kids some boots for under $22, scored 50% off Food Network baking must-haves, and earned Kohl's cash. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Flex Styles offers end October 27th. Coupons do not apply to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and
Now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com is the book called DUI Jury Trial, which is the true story of a truck driver in Illinois who was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Not only was he facing a revocation of his driver's license, but also a lifetime disqualification of his CDL, which would prevent him from ever driving a semi-truck again. This book includes backstories of the truck driver, the lawyers that defended the case, and the DUI expert witness who analyzed the case and then testified at trial as to the proper protocol procedures of the field sobriety tests as well as the breathalyzer test. This nonfiction novel also includes the actual court transcript from the jury trial, a courtroom showdown in which the final verdict would determine the fate of the defendant's livelihood. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
All right, welcome folks to Out to Lunch with WRMN. It is the 12 o'clock hour, so of course what that means is we're going to be starting the Tradio segment, pardon me, just a little bit earlier today because we do have the live stream that is going to be coming up for the press conference that'll be coming up here at 12:30, so stay tuned for that because that'll be coming up at 12:30 here. Again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. That press conference will be live streamed here at 12:30 in regards to the North Aurora 1979 cold case that happened back in 79, and with DNA finally discovering that it was Bruce Lindahl that did it. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up in just a bit. In the meantime, of course, we'll talk about some Tradio announcements here. I'll also make sure, of course, to bring up the messages here on the YouTube side of things as well, too. Now, the American Legion, I know Mark did post on here about the American Legion lunch and dinner. Now, I actually, something inside me said, you know what, I'm going to bring up the website just in case. And it looks like there was some updated information. So the lunch was 11:30 until scheduled to 2 p.m. However, on their Facebook page, American Legion Elgin Post 57, they did post on here. They said, due to a conflict tonight, they're going to be extending the lunch until 3 o'clock. So they're going to be extending their lunch. It was originally now until 2 o'clock. It's now going on until 3 o'clock. And then they also do say no dinner. So the dinner was originally scheduled. It was originally 4 to 7. But now they have scheduled it, I guess descheduled it or changed the schedule of it with no dinner. So join in for lunch. It's been expanded now until 3 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock at the American Legion Elgin Post 57 at 820 North Liberty Street. The lunch today is grilled cheese and tomato soup for $6. So wanted to throw that out there for you. 3 hours ago, they also posted onto their Facebook page as well, American Legion presenting their karaoke costume party in conjunction with the Queen of Hearts drawing on October 28th. That'll be from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And there's going to be prizes for the top 3 costumes. How cool is that? So very nice. They posted that as well. I know that they're also going to be having a catering event from 5 to 8. That'll be coming up on Monday. That'll be on Monday, October 28th. And it's going to be in honor of the Korean War missing in action soldier that returned home after missing for 74 years. That's U.S. Army Corporal Heriberto Ortiz. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly there. So there's also another lineup of things as well coming up here in honor of him as well. So Thursday, October 24th, a dignified transfer will be conducted at O'Hare Airport. American Airlines cargo terminal at 609 South Access Road in Chicago. And the public and media are invited. The procession staging will be at 2:30 p.m. Flight arrival at by American Airlines at 4:02 p.m. Procession O'Hare departure will be approximately at 5 p.m. after dignified transfer. The processing route is I-90 west from O'Hare to Route 25 south to Dundee Avenue south to Simmons Madison Funeral Home, which is at 305 Park Street here in Elgin. Approximate Elgin arrival is 5:30 to 5:45 p.m. So again, that is an event that's also coming up here as well, continuing on. And that is brought to you by the Media Advisory for Immediate Release, Rolling Thunder Incorporated Illinois chapters. So thank you to them for sending out this information. Thank you so much. Some other things that'll be coming up too. Visitation for Ortiz will be on October 27th on Sunday. It'll be held at 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Simmons Madison Funeral Home. That'll be on the 27th. There's also going to be the visitation will be held 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Simmons Madison Funeral Home on the 28th. And then there's also going to be staging on the same day. That'll be at 11:30 a.m. at St. Mary's Church of Elgin at 400 Fulton Street in Elgin, with the funeral mass being held at 12:30 p.m. A fully escorted procession to Bluff City Cemetery will form the mass where full military honors will be rendered there as well too. So very, very nice that they're having that. And then that was shared to us here. So thank you again to Rolling Thunder Incorporated Illinois chapters for sending us that information. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Some other things coming up here when it comes to Tradio announcements. We do have, of course, our American Legion also does have the meat raffle that will be coming up on November 2nd. That'll be from 5 to 9 p.m. featuring 16 raffles and also halftime turkey sandwiches that are also going to be sold as well. They're $1 a piece or 6 for $5. Several different arrangements as well there too for the raffle. If you want to check out more information, that website is allelginpost57.com. Again, allelginpost57.com. So you don't want to miss out on that. Pardon me as well. So that's the American Legion at 820 North Liberty Street. 820 North Liberty Street. Very nice. Let's see here. Some other things we've got also coming up here too when it comes to Tradio announcements. We scroll down the page. We've got Antique Jim, who called in not too long ago. He does buy antiques, of course, all kinds, and he also pays cash as well for that too. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to Antique Jim. That number is 847-414-7267. Again, 847-414-7267. Another Tradio caller here, Wood by Jeff in Elburn, has quite a few items that he has for free. He has lots of cedar wood, scrap pieces, solid wood, concrete boards, firewood, and more. Also shelving boards. He also has tinder pieces, some window screens. He also has put together kits that are mail sorters, as well as a solar heating kit for free. And then he also does have a cute little hobbit house that he made that's 16 inches square and has a loft in it too. And then he also does have 2 witches' brooms for free too. So, hey, great Halloween costume idea there. And then he is also, pardon me, looking to sell some walnut and oak lumber. And then he is also still looking for a place for his shop. So feel free to reach out to him. That number is 630-365-9488. Again, 630-365-9488. Is that number to dial there. So there you go. The time is 12:14. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick time out right now. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN. We'll continue on talking about some more Tradio callers that have called in. And then I think what we'll do is around 12:26 or so, we're going to take a time out during that time. And then the timed events will be off. So then we'll head on into the live broadcast at 12:30. So stay tuned for that. And we'll be back with more of course, here with WRMN in just a bit.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-234-0316. 800-234-0316. That's 800-234-0316.
Roll into Bolero in Algonquin or Roselle and wake up with a story to tell. Bolero is bowling, gaming, dining, and nightlife with a twist. Score a sweet deal every day of the week and save big by checking out the daily deals online. Team up with your friends and hit the lanes by forming your own social club. Clubs offer lively competition and laid-back fun for everyone. From beginners to pros, make new friends, bowl, and hang out at a happening place. Visit Bolero.com.
What makes a great pizza restaurant? The obvious answer, great pizza. A local favorite since 1983, Pizza Pub Wisconsin Dells has been serving up the best pizza in the Dells. Year after year after year. Not hungry for pizza? Try the homemade lasagna, chicken parmesan, burgers, salads, and an extensive kids menu. Or take a trip or two to the all-you-care-to-eat lunch buffet. Pizza Pub, walking distance to water parks and hotels in Wisconsin Dells. Visit the Milwaukee County Zoo this summer to enjoy so many species of fun. Home to more than 2,200 animals, representing over 340 different species. The zoo educates, entertains, and inspires. Stomp back in time with the zoo's summer exhibit, Dinosaur Discovery, sponsored by Sendik's Food Market. You'll be astounded by the gigantic and scientifically accurate animatronic displays. Touch, feel, and learn about the role of predators in the ecosystem. Running through October 5th. Visit MilwaukeeZoo.org.
The weather is getting better, and we know it's the time when ladders and DIYers come out.
Before you start any new outdoor projects, ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and the tools you're using. So maintain a safe distance from any power lines. You can also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any type of work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
Belux Bar and Grill, Wisconsin tells, is the quintessential American grill and bar, with refined rustic cuisine and award-winning libations. Their honest, feel-good food menu is complemented by a beer list to satisfy every taste. Classic cocktails and our signature shakes, rich and creamy with a splash of boozy goodness just to shake things up a little bit. Belux Grill and Bar, classic American cuisine with a contemporary twist.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN, our little earlier segment of Tradio. If you're interested in buying, selling, trading, and or announcing to the Fox River Valley area, feel free to give us a call. We're going to be starting here. We'll be taking a quick time out in about 8 minutes or so that we can get prepared, of course, for the live broadcast here. So stay tuned for that. That'll be starting at 12:30. So we'll make sure to go right in at 12:30. We'll make sure, of course, that is set and ready to go here so that you'll be able to listen into the live stream and also watch it as well. We'll have it shared on the screen on YouTube here. We got permission for them, so we're able to present that to you. We'll continue on going through some more Tradio announcements here. We have a Tradio caller that is a 1977 Corvette for sale. It does need a little bit of work, but it does run well. Asking $5,000 or best offer, located in Elgin. That number to dial is 630-400-2730. Again, that's 630-400-2730. Another Tradio caller here has the 14 3-drawer filing cabinets that are completely steel. The tops are rusted. They are great for, of course, scrap metal. If you want to use it for scrap metal, if you want to use them for projects, and she's giving them away for free. So if anyone is interested, please feel free to reach out to her. That number is 630-267-5543. Again, that's 630-267-5543. Again, that's for the 14, that's a lot, 14 3-drawer filing cabinets. Completely steel. Looking to give them away for free as soon as possible. Another Tradio caller here has those DVD collections. Her name is Maggie. She's got the Mary Tyler Moore Show, the Gilmore Girls collection, first 4 seasons of Boston Legal, and also the TV show Castle. She also has a beautiful Yamaha keyboard for sale, has the stand and the instructions that come with it for $200. And then she also does have 2 cemetery plots in Lakewood Cemetery in Elgin. So feel free to reach out to her. That number is 224-508-5532. Again, that number is 224-508-5532. Another Tradio caller here, Dave calling in, has the janitorial cleaning cart for sale, including 2 mops, a bucket, and cleaning supplies. And there's even room for the mops as well, which is pretty nice, as it is a nice janitorial cleaning cart. $50, not too bad. Also has a little giant ladder system that's 23 feet in length. It is foldable as well there too. You can use it on stairs. It's pretty heavy. So $150 or a reasonable offer on that. Feel free to reach out to Dave there. That number is 331-588-0493. Again, 331-588-0493. Another Tradio caller here. This is Greg calling in. He has, what he's looking for is old bicycles. Schwinn bicycles, bone shakers, balloon tires. They can be from the late 1800s to the 1950s, 60s, 70s, around that time period. He's looking for parts, pieces, and or accessories also. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the full bikes intact. They can also be the parts and accessories, pieces, things like that too. They can be in any condition. He also is looking for vintage Omega watches, men's or women's style watches, and then also, pardon me, the diver style watches as well. He's a collector, not a dealer, so he'll pay top dollar for those. And then he also does have for sale a 2003 Mustang. It's got 81,000 miles on it. It's charcoal gray in color with leather interior, all new hydraulics, new brakes, tires, etc. Asking price is $6,500 for it. So if anyone's interested, feel free to reach out to him. That number is 847-884-6033. Again, that's 847-884-6033 is that number to dial. And so those are the Tradio callers that have called in within the past couple of weeks or so. Of course, if you'd like to add yourself to the list, feel free to give us a call. Now, we do have a couple minutes left before we take a timeout and then head on into the live broadcast after the messages. But if you would like to, of course, you can also contact our Image 360 info number at 505-926-1410. Again, that's 505-926-1410, brought to you by Image 360 of South Elgin. They are a supplier of custom indoor and outdoor signage, banners, and displays, plus digital printing. Open Monday through Friday from 8 till 5 p.m. I'm sorry, 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. They're located at 506 Sundown Road in South Elgin. If you want to check out more information on them, you can visit their website at image360.com. Again, that's image360.com. They're your one source for custom signs. And graphic solutions in South Elgin. So feel free to check out their website for sure. You can check out interior signs and graphics, interactive signage guides, and also custom business signs. Take a look at some of the examples of their window graphics, wall decors, decals, vehicle graphics, and building signs as well there too. Very well done, very professional. Check it out. That is image360.com. That's where you can go. That's on their website. So there you go. You can also check out our website, of course, WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk the Town. Check out our lineup, of course, see what we have to offer there too. And also check out lots of other pages as well. They do have some things that are happening coming up pretty soon. We've got here St. Sophia's Fall Greek Food Festival is coming up already in a couple days here. It's October 25th and 26th. That'll be from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. All proceeds will be donated to hurricane relief, which is awesome. And they're located at 525 Church Road in Elgin. That also reminds me here, too, I've got Rob Southgate on the air coming up tomorrow. He'll be talking about something that he has been putting together as well, too. And it does kind of also relate to hurricane relief as well, too. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up tomorrow. He'll be doing a little drop-in. Very nice. Of course, at this Fall Greek Food Festival, you're, of course, going to be able to find delicious food, all prepared, ready for you. You can have it as dine-in or carry-out. You've got Greek food. That includes Greek salad, baklava, spanakopita, rice pudding, chicken, gyros, the works when it comes to the delicious Greek food at St. Sophia's. That's St. Sophia's Church. You can find out more information at st-sophia.com. That's st-sophia.com for more information. So, of course, stay tuned for that. That's coming up this weekend. Sounds like a good time. Also, join in to donate and dine for Cooperstown on Wednesday, October 23rd. That is today from 5 to 8 p.m. That is the Culvers of St. Charles. Now, that's at 111 South Randall Road. They're going to be doing Camden's fundraiser at Culver's, running from 5 to 8 p.m. So if you want to check that out, feel free to check it out. It's where you can support Wasco 12U Navy team while you dine and drive through or carry out. So that'll be coming up today from 5 to 8. We're going to take a quick time out here. We'll be back with more as we get into the live broadcast stream for the North Aurora cold case here. Actually, let me see. Possibly the video might even be ready right now too. So you know what we'll do. It looks like, I do believe the video might actually be ready already. So let me go into it and see. I know that they are getting prepared and set up here for this, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, we'll be back here in just a bit. Stay tuned. We'll take a little time out here, and then we'll be back in just a little bit. Stay tuned.
A truckload of methamphetamine disguised as a shipment of watermelons was seized at the U.S.-Mexican border crossing into San Diego, U.S. Customs and Border Protection said. Methamphetamine valued at more than $5 million was found August 16th when the cargo aboard a tractor-trailer from Mexico was unloaded for a detailed inspection, the agency said in a statement. Among real watermelons, officers found 1,220 packages wrapped in paper colored to look like watermelon skins. The total weight of the packages amounted to 4,587 pounds or 2,080 kilograms. Wow, there's a lot to unwrap here, besides all the packs of meth. Can you imagine the conversation that went into the scheme hatching plan for this? What about the conversation someone sparked that finally had them search the truckload of watermelons? There's no way I'm going to believe that the Border Patrol found this truck the first time they tried this tomfoolery. I'm praying that there were no forest preserve barbecue functions that are cutting into these magical slices of watermelon. My personal biggest question, why didn't they just hollow out some of the watermelons? I'm Darian Sims, and this is how I see it.
Never forgotten. I want to specifically commend the hard work and dedication of Investigator Ryan Peet, Sergeant Kyle Jensen, and retired investigator Paul Dilley. I also want to highlight the incredible advancements in forensic science that have transformed our approach to cold cases. Techniques that were once unimaginable are now possible, allowing us to uncover new evidence and bring closure to families who have wanted justice for far too long. I must extend our deepest gratitude to our partners in law enforcement that have collaborated with us on this case over the years. The support from King County State's Attorney Jamie Mosser and her office were invaluable. Their expertise and commitment to justice helped guide our efforts every step of the way. We're also grateful to the Illinois State Police Crime Lab and the DuPage County Crime Lab. Their guidance and support as the investigation progressed. A special thank you goes out to the Seasons of Justice for their financial assistance, which has made a significant impact on our investigative efforts. Their commitment to supporting law enforcement in solving cold cases has been vital to our success. Finally, I want to acknowledge the exceptional work of DNA Labs International, located in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Their innovation and dedication to forensic science played a pivotal role in our breakthroughs, and we are grateful for their partnership. Today, we honor Kathy Holly and her memory, and we pledge to continue our efforts to ensure that every victim receives the justice they deserve. I'd like to now hand over the briefing to Detective Ryan Peet, who will provide an overview of the case and update you on our current progress. Thank you.
Afternoon, thank you for being here. Start this out. So, Kathy, on March 29th, 1979, Kathy Holly left her home on Bolts Court here in North Aurora. She left to pick up her sister at the Northgate Shopping Center and never arrived. For the next 3 weeks, the case was investigated as a missing person. On April 24th, 1979, Kathy's body was discovered in the Fox River. At that time, the Illinois State Police was assisting a homicide investigation. As the case was worked over the next several decades, it was deemed a cold case, and no new evidence was available for several years. In the early 2000s, as new DNA technology was emerging, North Aurora detectives began to collect DNA from people connected to Kathy. All of those tests produced negative results. In September of 2019, Lyle Police Department reopened the Pam Maurer case and found familiar DNA that linked Bruce Lindahl to their homicide. As the investigation progressed, Lindahl's remains were exhumed and DNA comparisons were shown to have a positive match, indicating Lindahl was the killer in the Pam Maurer case. In 2020, North Aurora detectives began to look back into the Kathy Holly case, and they were able to meet with the investigators from Lyle PD. As part of that investigation, evidence in this case was inventoried, inspected, repackaged here at the North Aurora Police Department. Some of that evidence was sent to the DuPage Crime Lab for additional testing. The evidence from the DuPage showed that there was a mixture of two individuals. However, any DNA that was located was too degraded to create a working profile. In December of 2022, North Aurora learned that there was a box of evidence at the Naperville Police Department that included belonging to Bruce Lindahl. Some of that evidence showed Lindahl would have frequented the Northgate Shopping Center, which is where Kathy was employed at the time of her death. Around that time, I attended the NEMR lead homicide course, and one of the instructors there was Orland Park Deputy Chief Larry Rafferty. Larry presented a block of instruction on DNA technology, most notably the GenVac DNA vacuum and its ability to collect DNA from older cases. And we were able to see that that technology can generate profiles from where other testing cannot. In January of 23, I reached back out to Larry Rafferty and we discussed DNA technology and some of the labs that offer GenVac technology. He recommended DNA Labs International out of Deerfield Beach, Florida. Through this discussion, Deputy Chief Rafferty recommended reaching out to Kara Stephenson, a forensic science specialist with the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. We were going to discuss best options going forward with what evidence she believed would be able to produce the best results for us. In February, the North Aurora Police Department and our administrative staff met with Cassandra Pressler from DNA Labs International to discuss testing plans and cost of advanced testing. During this conversation, Ms. Pressler suggested we reach out to Season of Justice. She explained Season of Justice is a nonprofit organization that provides grants to laboratories for DNA testing to assist solving cold cases. At that point, Sergeant Jensen reached out to Seasons of Justice and applied for a cold case grant. We later found out that we were awarded a grant to cover the cost for this testing at these advanced labs. In June of 2023, detectives from North Aurora Police Department drove the evidence from this case to Deerfield Beach, Florida, and dropped it off at DNA Labs International. In August of 24, North Aurora Police Department received a report from DNA Labs International that showed that DNA, approximately 9.4 trillion times more probable to have originated from Bruce Lindahl, was present on Kathy's clothing. So it is our belief that on the night of Kathy's disappearance, Lindahl was able to abduct Kathy in the parking lot of her apartment complex. He then drove her to the area of the Fox River where her body was later discovered. Besides this case, Lindahl has been connected to several other cases in this area from that time frame. With this new evidence, along with the evidence from similar cases involving Lindahl, we are able to conclude Lindahl was responsible for the death of Kathy Hopper. Bruce Lindahl killed himself while committing another murder in April of 1989. I will now hand it over to Steve Boyes. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Steve Du Bois from DNA Labs International, the lab that was used at the very end of this investigation. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about all the detectives, all the crime scene personnel, everyone that was involved in this chain. If that chain had been broken anywhere, we wouldn't be here today. So with all of those people involved, we were able to come and get to this conclusion. The piece of equipment that we talked about, the MVAC, to put it in a very simple term, it is a DNA wet vac. And the scientists are all going to, I'm a retired law enforcement, the scientists are all going to get mad at me for describing it that way, but that's the simplest term. It sprays a solution onto a piece of evidence, and then it sucks it back up. It's much better than just swabbing that piece of evidence because that solution will get into the fibers and then be pulled back, and you can get evidence. You can get DNA. Now, with this particular case, with the body having been in the river for 3 weeks, it was very important that we get every bit of evidence, every bit of DNA that we could possibly get. And the MVAC was one of the techniques that we used. So we would just like to thank all the detectives, everyone involved, all the crime scene personnel, because I'm going to go back to it. If that chain had been broken somewhere in the year from 79 to now, we wouldn't be here today. So just thank those detectives. We're glad that North Aurora was able to reach out to us. I will also say Cassie Pressler, who is our cold case reviewer, one of our main reviewers, worked on this case for a long time. She spent a lot of time on it with the detectives, going over the evidence. And that's what cold cases need. They need a teamwork of the detectives, the forensic people, and our lab, we've been in business for over 20 years. We're one of the largest private DNA labs in the nation. We've handled hundreds of thousands of samples. So you come to us because you need speed or you need new technology. And that's what we're able to use in this case was new technology. Thank you.
Up next, I'd like to call our King County State Attorney, Davey Mosser.
Good afternoon. First, I would like to extend my condolences again to Kathy's family. To lose somebody in such a violent way, and then just to live year after year not knowing what happened to her or who did it, is a nightmare that no one wishes upon anybody. I would like to echo the words of Chief DeLeo that but for the work of the detectives and the hardworking men and women here in North Rural Police Department, we would not be here today. They're obtaining the evidence, repackaging the evidence, and continuing to try to find justice for Kathy is the reason why we're here today. Upon the discovery of this new DNA evidence, the North Rural Police Department asked me to review the file to see if we would file any charges. We reviewed the facts of the case that happened in 1979, and we also reviewed the other cases that were identified to be related to Bruce Lindahl during that time period. Because of the pattern and practice of how he would abduct and murder his victims, we found that to be similar to what happened with Kathy in 1979. The evidence that was obtained and then eventually identified through DNA evidence was also thoroughly reviewed by my office, because this is not typical of how we would work DNA, because this is ever-evolving technology. We found that science was good, that it did in fact show that the DNA that was found on Kathy's clothing belonged to Bruce Lindahl. As such, had he not killed himself while in a murder, we would have authorized first-degree murder charges against Bruce Lindahl, and we would have proceeded to trial on that. Because he has passed away, we're not going to posthumously do any charges, but to the family, I want you to know that this would have been a case we would have charged. We would have actively prosecuted it, and I'm confident that based on the work of the detectives at North Aurora and all the scientists involved with the DNA labs, we would have finally obtained justice for Kathy. Thank you.
Our next speaker, the family has a prepared statement. Deputy Chief Gorski has been a liaison for the family and the PD for a number of years, so we found it fitting for him to read that statement.
Good afternoon. Before I read the prepared statement from the Holly family, I would like to request the members of the media respect the family's wish for privacy. This will be the only statement made to the media on behalf of the family. We ask that any further questions be directed to the North Aurora Police Department or the King County State's Attorney's Office. The statement from the Holly family, October 2024. While revisiting this case has been incredibly difficult for our family, we are deeply grateful to finally have closure after 45 long years. Thanks to advancements in DNA technology and groundbreaking investigative tools, we are hopeful that other families won't have to endure the same pain and uncertainty that we faced for so many years. We extend our heartfelt thanks to the North Aurora Police Department and all the agencies and organizations involved for their dedication, persistence, and for never giving up, even when the odds seemed impossible. The kindness and respect shown to our family during this journey will never be forgotten. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Mayor Gaffino.
Good afternoon. I'm going to go off script for a little bit, I'm sure. Just to kind of bring some context into this event here. Kathy and I were the same age, lived in North Aurora the whole time. I remember as a 19-year-old, it was pretty scary, this whole event that went on here, you know. So North Aurora never had issues like this. So here I am today speaking to you all. So I'm going to echo Chief DeLeo today. It's a solemn occasion for many reasons. It's also an occasion that reflects the strength of our community and immense pride I feel in our North Aurora Police Department. I always said that pride for decades of work and commitment to finding answers. North Aurora has always had a police department that strives to put our community first and support its members from the smallest of incidents to the horrific tragedies such as this. See the department continue to work this case year after year, even when the technology doesn't exist to pursue such leads. Never give up, achieving justice for Kathy Holly and her family. It makes me so proud to be a resident of North Aurora and the mayor as well. and so grateful for the hard work, dedication of our officers. While I truly hope such tragedy never befalls another family, it brings me such pride and hope in our department to know that we will never stop working to find answers, bring those accountable for such acts to justice, and that will always be there for our community. To which I will now like to address the Holly family. I cannot even begin to imagine the pain you suffered over these many years, losing Kathy during the years of no answer. The years of grieving have to continue on without her. And then this past year, we're answered her hand, those painful memories, feeling lost were revisited. And while I know there is no clear timelines to such grief might fade, might become a little less painful, I do pray that you can find a measure of peace with the answers uncovered. Please know that our Northern community is always here for you in whatever way possible. Thank you.
And I just have to convey my appreciation to Mayor DeFino, the village board, Administrator Bosco. Never really know what cases like this entail, finding finances that weren't in the budget, getting permission to travel out of state. There's a lot of things in play that you just think it's simple, just go solve the case. So in closing, I would like to thank you all for coming today. You heard the comments from Investigator Ryan Pete, the statement from State's Attorney Jamie Mosser regarding the offender in this case, Bruce Lindau. The North Aurora Police Department will now finally consider this case closed. After meeting with the Holly family, I saw their continued grief firsthand. As we discussed the new developments in the case, I know this was not easy for the Holly family, and I sincerely hope that the news of the closure of the case can bring them a sense of peace. As we conclude the press conference, I want to remind everybody they will not be taking any questions today. Please also respect that they do not wish to be contacted in the future with any inquiry requests. Now, if there are any final questions from the press, I'd be happy to take some.
Hi, Sabrina from Channel 2. Nice to meet you. Can you talk a little bit more about the DNA that allowed you from the previous case to make all these connections for now, this case, for the previous victim of Bruce Lindau's? And then in addition to that, are you anticipating any other victims, any other cases?
So, like as Brian Pete said, Lyle PD had the DNA sample. This then allowed us to send this to a lab to match. We're hoping that this leads to future cases. Investigator Pete reached out to the local community saying, hey, it's out this. Here's how. If you have any questions, you can contact Lyle PD, North Aurora PD, or anybody else in the area. Brian, you want to follow up with that?
Yeah, so again, Lyle's case on this was the henchman kind of like stepping down and was falling on us, so thank you guys for that. With this case, we were able to do a direct comparison to Bruce Lindau himself from the work that they did on their case. So we were able to take that evidence and then do a direct comparison. So having a known offender in the system made that a lot easier for us. So to be able to positively identify him as the offender.
Do you expect that there might be more victims that you'd be looking into, or that?
There are several cases that have incredible circumstantial evidence, but it's irresponsible to say yes or no without having definitive proof that we have in this case.
Did you ever interview Lindau about her disappearance?
During that time, that was before my time.
I can't answer that question honestly.
You talked a little bit about cost involved. Can you give us some idea of how much this costs to do?
So it's all dependent on how many items of evidence you have. For example, how many pieces of evidence do we have? Do you know?
A lot.
Okay, so we met with DNA Labs International, and the initial cost was just under $23,000. So what we did then, we met and you pick which evidence you think would be most conducive to getting a match, and you do it in batches. So the first batch was going to cost us around just under $10,000, I would say. Seasons of Justice, when Kyle applied for the grant, we received the grant for $6,700. So really it cost the village of under $3,000 to solve the whole case. But yes, that would do for all of us as well.
Maybe if the DNA International goes and step forward, talk a little bit more about the idea that you can recover DNA from a body that's been in the river for 3 weeks seems rather incredible. How common is it that you can do this kind of thing? And talk a little bit more about that DNA vacuum cleaner.
The INVAC has been around for a while. It just hasn't been filtered into a lot of the state laboratories, so it's not readily available for like local agencies to use on a no-cost basis. So my owner, if she decides there's a piece of technology that's going to help crime, help solve these cases, she can go out, get it, put it online, get it validated. 6 months. State lab, that might take a little bit longer. So we're just going to have newer technology. The INVAC, literally, it's as simple as I said. It sprays that sterile solution onto, most of the time it's clothing, but we've used them on a lot of different items. I think the very first case it was used on was a rock. It has to be a porous, semi-porous piece of evidence. It gets down into all the little nooks and crannies, and then that sterile solution is sucked back up. It's literally like a wet vac. That solution is then poured through a filter, and that filter is what's moved forward. Normally you'd swab something, so that filter kind of replaces the swab. It's an amazing piece of equipment, and used properly, it can move a case forward that has evidence that might be degraded, might not have been in the best environment. There are all sorts of things that could be used. But the other thing is, in like 2017, all the DNA kits that were created were upgraded. They're much more sensitive, and they're getting more sensitive every day. So the very thing we use to create the profiles is now more sensitive. So you have all of these technologies that are built on each other, and you're able to get things that you didn't get before. I think, if DNA had been way back when they tested anything, they would have probably not found anything. Because there are limits, what they can see and what inhibits the DNA. We can go much lower now. That answer your question?
Yeah, and then can you then disambiguate between two different sources?
Yes. The other great thing about any lab that uses it, a lot of the federal labs use it too, it's called StarMix. If you have mixtures of multiple people, this will separate them. And I'm gonna butcher this scientifically. I'm a retired cop, like I said, I'm not a scientist. But it basically separates them out and allows us to then compare. Like here we actually did the sample of the suspect for the other agency. It allows us to take that SDR, that short tandem repeat, which is the normal forensic profile you use, and compare it to the evidence. So we had both of them. This wasn't like CODIS, it wasn't put in an actual database. They were a one-to-one comparison. So when you get that, and all of those dominoes fell in place, we get this kind of result.
You're listening to the press conference at North Aurora Police Department.
On her clothing, inside her clothing, or on her body, skin, whatever.
So all the articles that we tested were clothing. When we originally met with Ms. Stephenson from the Cook County's office, we kind of devised a plan as to where we thought the strongest evidence would be, and we started with that, and we just happened to hit a home run on our first try. We started with the clothing.
What type of DNA was it? Or was it skin, hair?
I don't know for sure. Yeah,
Detective, can you speak just kind of more broadly about the importance of solving a case like this and being able to bring this home after so many years?
Yeah, this is a tough one for us. I guess the solemn pride in it is that it doesn't save Kathy, it doesn't hold any justice for Bruce, but it's the pride that we were able to give closure to the family on this. That was really important to us. And like for me personally, like all my mentors coming up the ranks worked on this case, and then I got to be the one that tried the case closed, which is a really neat, little feather in my hat for that. So it was, that was just that part of it's just kind of a humbling pride.
Well, we really appreciate you all coming today. Those contact us in the future. But like I said, and I know you're all respectful, the family just doesn't want to be contacted anymore. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you much.
All right, that was the coverage here of the press conference at the North Aurora Police Department covering the resolution of the death of North Aurora resident Kathy Halley. DNA evidence had identified serial killer Bruce Lindahl as the perpetrator. So thank you so much for that very well put together coverage. What we'll do is we'll continue on here for the rest of the show. You're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley. Talk of the Town, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. Thank you again to the North Aurora Police Department for putting on this cold case press conference. Again here, very well put together. Thank you, of course, to the attendees, and thank you for allowing us to live stream that as well here on WRMN AM 1410, as well as WRMN on YouTube as well, youtube.com at WRMN Radio. So we'll continue on here. We do have a little bit of time left here. You're listening to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. We'll continue on, talk a little bit more about what is happening within the area. We still have a little bit of time left here. After the show, of course, we'll go into, we've got Democracy Now! From 1 until 2 o'clock. We also do have from 2 to 4, Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. And then from 4 to 6, we have a political talk show with Dennis Sonar Green and also Bendemonium Boquest. So, of course, stay tuned for that as well. You can listen to us live through the AM 1410 dial or also through YouTube as well, youtube.com at WRMN Radio. So we'll continue on here. Let's see what else we have coming up in the area of the Fox River Valley. There is going to be a unique wine and whiskey tasting that's going to be hosted by Liquors and Wine. There's going to be live music, great drinks, and lots of fun coming up November 7th. This will be on November 7th here. This information has been posted under what's happening in Geneva. So it is the wine and whiskey tasting at Revelry 675. That'll be Thursday, November 7th for a unique experience. They're going to be featuring live music and an elegant atmosphere. For just $12 per person, you can indulge in an unlimited wine and whiskey samples. Perfect Thursday afternoon, evening outing with family and friends. Feel free to check out more information at ticketleap.events. This information has been posted under what's happening in Geneva, so you can find that information posted there. Again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. Thank you again for the North Aurora Police Department for covering the resolution there too. If you would like to read more on the information on the case, of course, you can feel free to check out different news sources. ABC Chicago did cover it as well here too. Also Daily Herald and Patch. If you'd like to take a look at that information, it is posted not too long ago on these different news sources. So DNA linking the serial killer Bruce Lindahl to the 1979 murder of Kathy. They did, of course, do a wonderful broadcast there. Thank you to them for acknowledging this. And, of course, hopefully giving some good rest to the family on this case. It can be a very hard, difficult time. It can be a shocking time for the family. So we're hoping that, we wish them nothing but the best of peace and prayers and happiness as the case is now been closed. Unfortunately, much later, but with DNA, we're seeing here, of course, that this has really become an immense way of solving crimes as well too. So that DNA evidence really is quite phenomenal indeed. Now, of course, authorities say DNA proves Bruce Lindahl did kill Kathy Halley back in 1979. She disappeared from her apartment complex. Her body was later found in the Fox River. And it did say in 2020, they did link to the murder. DNA also linked Lindahl to the murder of Pamela Maurer of Woodridge in 1976. Of course, there are other victims out there as well. We wish nothing but peace and happiness, of course, for the families as well, too, because it can be a very difficult, hard time as well. It's something that is good that the cases have been solved, but it's, again, bringing up the sorrow again for the family. So it's good to keep that in mind. I'm glad that they were able to give the family space and wish them nothing but the best of luck hope and love as well too. So again, you're listening to WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley. With the rest of the time here, we'll just continue on. What I'll do is just send some reminders. You can listen to us through our main website. So you can listen, you can click on the click here to listen live page. You'll be able to listen to us, known as the Talk of the Town. That's what the tab says at the top. You can also listen and watch us live on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. Of course, we do have coverage like we just did right now too. We try to keep everyone up to date and in the loop with what's happening here in the Fox River Valley. And we're definitely in the works and continuing to grow in that area of news coverage because we hope to give you that news whenever anything comes up that we're able to tell you on the spot, be able to live stream, be able to broadcast there and then too, so that you know exactly what is going on. So very good. We also have here, of course, you can listen to us and through our app, which is available for download on Google Play for Samsung and on the Apple Store for Apple users out there as well, too. This does wrap it up for Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully everyone's having a good Wednesday afternoon, as it is now the afternoon time. We hope you're enjoying your Wednesday. And coming up tomorrow on Thursday, we do have an interview with Rob Southgate, and we're going to be talking a little bit about a really cool Comic-Con that he's having coming up pretty soon here too within the area, as well as talking a little bit more about our potential new kind of interview series with the authors. And I had a great time doing that earlier today as well. So if you'd like to rewatch that, this will be posted on our YouTube channel, youtube.com at WRMN Radio. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you all tomorrow here. You're listening to Matt McNeil, taking you out to lunch.